It's going live. All right. We should be live, so welcome back to Harbour Unboxed. Different video, a bit earlier than our normal slot, but as you've probably seen from the title, it's a PC build charity stream, this one. So where should I start? I guess we'll start because people are going to want to know how to enter. Unfortunately, it is for Australians only, but Child's Play, who is the charity that we're partnered with, they're global. So Europe, Australia, America, you can check on their website. The link is in the video description. So Australians can enter to win the PC that we're about to build. So it's essentially a raffle. And everyone else can, if they wish to, can make a donation. So we'd encourage you to not do any super chat stuff on YouTube. Don't give us any money. Link is in the video description.
So link in the video description will get you, basically, you enter, I think it's $5 per ticket, I think is what it is. And basically, you get a chance to win the PC that we're building today, provided that you are in Australia, which is great.
Yes.
And you can see some of the components here. So we have partnered with Asus and Corsair as well, who've provided us the components. And then those two companies plus us together are making a $5,000 US donation as well.
That's
so
awesome.
We're kicking off the charity stream already $5,000 up, which I think is great. But obviously all the donations that you give on the link in the description, all the raffle tickets are also proceeds towards Child's Play, which is great. So Steve, what is Child's Play?
Well, glad you asked me. So it's a really cool organization, a really cool idea. So basically they provide hospitals with entertainment systems, whether it be computers, consoles, various different forms of devices that kids can play games on or just pass the time, which is obviously a great idea because being in hospital, period's not good. And as a kid, I imagine it'd be pretty horrible. And depending on, the illness or whatever, helping to pass the time with PC gaming, I mean, what better way to do that? So, and obviously we're the people to get on board with that, build a computer as well for someone to win. And great organization to donate to and support for supporting all hospitals. And again, you can see it's over 190 hospitals worldwide that they're affiliated with or support, and they support them in various ways. Again, you can find all that information out on their website. So links, the link for donating or the raffle is the first link. The second link will take you to the Child's Play organization website, and you can learn more there. Feel free to do that where we're building.
Yes, obviously Child's Play, I think as you mentioned, has lots of hospitals in the US, but also in Australia as well, which is partly why we're doing it with a company like Child's Play or a charity like Child's Play.
Well, it's good as well because we've got a lot of European and US viewers as well. So you can be donating to someone that is active in your region. Yeah,
which we think is good. And I think in the checkout at the moment, it might say something about like the raffle going towards Lego.
You must have had something to do with that.
I don't know. Maybe it's the Daily Bugle that we got here in the background. I don't know what the case is with the Lego situation.
The raffle is for the PC we're building.
Yeah, so the raffle is for this, not the Lego. Just ignore that. Hopefully they'll get fixed at some point. And I believe we'll be drawing the winner in a couple of weeks from now, some point mid-June.
Yep, Child's Play will be doing that. We'll announce it.
Yeah, we'll be announcing it on Twitter and those sort of places. So,
but they'll be getting in contact with you and doing all of that. So we're just building the computer, and hopefully it goes together nicely and works. And we'll put it together and we'll boot it up, make sure it boots. I'll purchase Windows 11 or whatever later and we'll install that on there so the person that gets it's ready to go. Also, it's going to be a very casual stream. We're going to go for at least 2 hours tonight. So we'll be addressing chat, talking with you guys, answering questions and doing all that stuff that we normally do when we do a live stream from time to time.
Yep.
So the build. So it's pretty much sort of a mid-range value build. And we had hoped to do this earlier in the year, but delayed for various reasons. But anyway, we're here now doing it. So we have a Radeon RX 6600, and of course it's an Asus model, the dual, so nice little graphics card there. It'll play all your latest games. CPU, 5600X, so probably needs no introduction at this point. Ryzen 5 5600X on the Asus TUF Gaming B550 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard. I have tested this board. It is a good board. You can upgrade to pretty much any CPU on that board, so great to have that. We have a 750 watt TUF power supply. Unfamiliar with this product, but I'm sure it's going to work well. And we also have a TUF Gaming 240mm. Put that there. All-in-one liquid cooler. I don't think I've used this model either, so that'll be interesting. Some stuff I haven't used before. Then some Corsair Vengeance RGB RT memory, 3200, 16 gig kit. So That'll be fine for gaming or general use, and a 1 terabyte Corsair MP600 core SSD. So, and we also have a tough gaming case.
Right there.
We'll get to that in a moment. We'll probably get.
Oh wow, it's got like.
Yeah,
I didn't even know it's got these handles on. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've built in that case once before, and it's a great case. Really underrated, I thought anyway. Really nice case to work with. So, do we want to get the motherboard out of the box first, Tim, and get building? And
look, let's get building. Should we put some of this stuff to the side so we've got room to do some building? Oh, we'll need this. Just leave that there for people.
Yeah, we'll need those as well.
And we got, as you can see, our Gamers Nexus mod mat.
Yes.
As well, that we'll be building on. So
yes,
thanks for Gamers Nexus for sending that out.
Yep.
Here we go. So, hang on. Is this what we want? I think this is what we want, right?
I can't scroll through chat, so I'll just try and catch things as I see them. We want the motherboard, yes. Oh, you're doing the top down.
We're doing the top down? Well, that's how the motherboard comes in the box, right?
Sure. So, we're doing an unboxing, which we hardly ever do on the channel. It's a live unboxing. So, the motherboard here. Tim and I have our anti-static bracelets attached to the mod mat. They're just invisible and wireless, but we'll handle with care. And of course, this bag. Okay, so I'll place that there. We probably don't need much else out of the box. We'll leave the Wi-Fi antenna in there. You've just got your manual, some M.2 stuff, which we may or may not need, some standoffs. Some SATA cables, which we won't be using. I/O bracket, we will need that because it's not pre-installed. Alright, so we'll go with that for now. And I'll stick this back in the box. Alright, so I think that's everything. Hardware Unboxed finally fulfilling its channel name. Yes, we're finally doing it. It took a charity live stream, but there we are. Unboxed.
Nice.
Looks good. Yeah, I'll move that so there's no shadow in front of it, Tim.
Oh. Rookie error on my part.
Well, do you want to open that?
Let's do it. As you can see, it is new and sealed.
Yeah, be careful with those scissors there, Tim. No blood, please.
I've already done that once on the channel before. With the other charity stream that we've done. Once is enough.
Light Owl said, just watched, I can't see it anymore, the Patreon live stream. And now I've got this stream. So we've done a lot of streaming today. And as we said, we're hoping to go for at least 2 hours here. Well, we will go for at least 2 hours.
So we're not using this cooler, right? That comes with the... Because we've got the...
That's correct, yes. We have an all-in-one liquid cooler, so you can put that aside.
Put that to the side.
That's the Wraith Stealth, that one.
And
again, guys, in the video description, the top link will enter in the raffle or make a donation. And the second link lets you learn a bit about Child's Play. So check those out while we're going. And yeah, don't worry about the super chats. If you want to donate any money, do that to the charity, the Child's Play charity. All right, you want me to take over from here?
Let's do it. I'll keep an eye on the chat.
All right.
I'm not going to bend any of these pins.
You're not going to bend any pins. I've done this about, I don't know how many times I've installed an AM4 CPU at this point, but it's quite a few hundred, I would have thought. There you go. Sometimes you can, before you put the arm down, just put on a bit of pressure on it just to make sure it's seated. Wriggle around, but that looks good.
Usually those are pretty easy to put in.
Yeah, it's the Threadripper ones that are a bit more tricky where sometimes you have issues, but I've never really had a problem seating those. I think maybe out of the, 1,000 times I've done it, one time it didn't detect a certain memory module and I had to reseat it. So basically, if it doesn't power on or you have problems and you can't work it out, maybe try reseating the CPU and that may solve your problem, but you'd be a bit unlucky, I would have thought. So, what are we doing here, Tim? CPU, I reckon we'll just stick the memory in because it's sitting here and it's very easy to do.
Yep, sounds good. A few people in the chat saying that they are not actually able to enter the raffle because it only allows US addresses.
Oh.
Well, that's a bit of a problem.
Oh. So it's not accepting Australian addresses?
I believe so. So let me know in the chat, in the live stream, if that is the case.
Unfortunately, we have no control over this. We didn't set the page up. I'm hoping it works. I don't know if you can enter. Oh, yeah. If that's going to be a problem if that's the case. I don't know what we do about that.
No idea what we can do because we cannot change it in any way.
No. I guess if it doesn't work, we'll get it fixed after the stream and you can enter that way. But that would be, it allows Australian addresses. You need to set the country to Australia. Okay, great.
Ooh.
Phew.
Oh.
Okay.
Heart attack averted right there.
Yep. This was only set up this morning, and I just hoped it worked. They assured us it did. I answered with an Aussie address. Awesome. Okay, great. Phew.
All right, cool. So that's that. At least if people ask in the future about only being able to enter US addresses, just change it.
So yes, the PC, the raffle is for Australian citizens only. We would have liked to have made it global, but it's out of our hands, and really, we just wanted to get involved to support the charity. So if you want to donate. If you don't, that's fine. If you just want to enjoy the stream, perfectly fine. No pressure to donate. But if you do want to donate, don't worry about Super Chat. Just go to the link and donate to Child's Play. All right. First module's going in, Tim. It's a big moment for us. Have I aligned it?
Yep, it's looking good.
Got the double click.
And you put it into the right slots, which is important.
Yes, they do need to go in the right slots. So there we go.
Yeah, so if you're just tuning in, as we've said plenty of times before, we are building this PC to give away as a raffle to some people who are...
Or some person.
Well, someone in Australia who, puts it into a raffle. But on top of that, obviously we've been partnering with Asus and Corsair for this build as well. And together with us at Hardware Unboxed, we are donating $5,000 US to Child's Play, the charity that is involved with us for this stream. So links below, not just to the raffle and donation, but also if you want to just learn more about the Child's Play charity and the sort of things that they do. Obviously they help out by providing gaming equipment, gaming sort of consoles, PCs for people who are... Well, children who are in hospital having a pretty rough time.
Entertainment for them.
Just sort of, gives them a bit of entertainment.
Take their mind off things.
You probably would have seen stream some other creators as well with Child's Play. So lots of people have been supporting them, which is great. And not only do they have support in the US with a lot of hospitals, but here in Australia as well, which is very nice, as well as other countries. So well worth it to get behind. But raffle tickets for Australian citizens, just for logistic and legal reasons, and donations for everyone else. And yes, thanks to Joker for his or her or theirs. What was I going to say? It's a super chat.
You're really butchering this.
I've been
it's
thinking
not even
of all the
late
charity
yet. It's
stuff.
not even late yet, Tim.
Steve, Schaefer charity when?
We might do that later this year, I reckon. That's on. I thought they meant my head.
Oh, your head?
Yeah, my head. That was what we said on your thing.
Ambitious. I like it. I like it.
I haven't got much to lose, let's be honest.
Thanks, Joker. And again, feel free to do super chats, but the best way to donate for this is via the links in the description.
Yes. I like what shape the thermal paste hardware box use. The pattern of thermal paste, well, really, we could just do a pretty easy cop-out on that one, and I'm sure it's pre-applied.
Pre-applied.
But, for Ryzen, I generally just put a dob in the middle with Ryzen. I
usually do the X, but doesn't really matter too much.
I mean, that's probably because I've just done it so many times now that I just put a good dob in the middle. That spreads out nicely and seems to work well thermally. All the review thermal data you will have seen from us. Bit of a big dob in the middle. Good pressure.
People always are going to be like, my way's the best way for that sort of thing. But as that Gamers Nexus video proved, it literally doesn't matter. As long as there's enough.
As long as you get good coverage, obviously not too much, but generally if the pressure's good, it will squeeze it all out and you'll just make a mess on the side of the socket. And then sometimes when you remove the CPU, they can get into the pins and perhaps cause some contact issues there. So just right is what you want. Now, M.2. That goes above the primary PCIe slot, so the fact that we have the oversized, nice Corsair heat spreader on it won't be a problem. And I quite like the look of... probably go
it actually goes quite well with...
I think it does. So I think we won't use...
We'll
put this back in the motherboard box. Unless we run into a problem. But I think we'll stick with the Corsair heat spreader. Because I think that looks good. What do you reckon? You like that?
I mean, you're missing the screw, but apart from that,
I'll get there, Tim. Busting my chops on the screw.
Super chat here. I'm from Los Angeles. Nice for you to tune in. It must be pretty early there in the morning at the moment. My question is, what is the best GPU for ultra-wide 2K gaming? The 6900 XT or the RTX 3080 Ti? Well, let's assume they're the same price because I believe they're not at the moment.
Certainly not.
6900 XT is a bit cheaper.
Was it 6900 XT, was it?
Yeah, versus 3080 Ti for
much of a muchness,
gaming.
really.
Yeah, and it's a high resolution, so you're not really getting the 1080p benefit from RDNA or the 4K benefit from the Ampere stuff.
They'd
so
be
it's kinda,
similar in terms of performance.
So it really depends.
Overall, depends on the game. Look at the games that you're going to be playing.
Depends if you're going to be using ray tracing or not, if you're using DLSS or not.
If you want to
push you to the 3080 Ti.
Yeah. In terms of pricing, to my knowledge, if the Radeon GPU wins by a landslide, it's significantly cheaper in most regions.
Yep.
So that would be the product I would recommend. But as Tim said, if they're the same price, then probably the GeForce GPU, because it might be a smidgen faster in the games you play. Obviously, ray tracing if you want to use that. And ray tracing is certainly usable on that tier of GPU. And then you've got DLSS, which is more mature than FSR 2.0 at this point. So does that look good? Are you happy with that?
Yeah. So as a recap for the hardware, we've got an AMD Ryzen 5 5600X. We've got the Asus Tough Gaming B550 Plus, and yes, I did have to read that off the motherboard because I always forget those names.
You can just say Asus Tough Gaming, and then the chipset and you're there. But sorry to interrupt.
And what memory and SSD have we got here from Corsair? MP600 SSD, I believe it's a 1 terabyte model, PCIe Gen 4, which is nice.
Excellent reading, Tim.
Yes.
You're doing a great job.
Up to 4,700 megabytes per second sequential reads. That's pretty good. And we got DDR4 16 gig dual channel kit. What speeds have we got over here? 3200.
That's 3200, probably CL16.
CL16, 3200. That's the fairly typical budget stuff that you would use for a build like this. I think this is a really sensible build. Like, nothing we're doing here is too crazy.
If you were doing this as a build budget guide, the only thing you would change out is the 5600X for the 5600. Other than that, I think pretty sensible hardware, really. I mean, you probably wouldn't bother with the all-in-one liquid cooler. A $20 tower cooler would work, or the box cooler. But you'd probably go for like a cheap tower style cooler.
Yeah, so obviously the 5600X comes with the
Race
Stealth.
Whoever wins this, if they were to upgrade, they've already got a good cooler. So you could put in...
And a 750 watt power supply as well, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, so the upgrade path there is good.
So obviously this is the cooler that normally comes with the chips. Just the very, very standard. Lots of people who've used Ryzen before have gotten that. But we're not going to be using that today. But like we said, sort of a very good choice if you're just... penny pinching or whatever's going on. And you've tested this motherboard and it was pretty good, right?
Yeah, definitely a good motherboard. Someone said trying to get tickets, the state function on the raffle page only lists US states. I think you have to select Australia first.
Select Australia first as the country, and that should let you put in your full...
People have been able to do it. So.
Yes.
But also thank you for trying, and hopefully you can get it working. What's your favourite part of building a computer? Personally, I love slotting in the RAM every time. My favourite part is hitting the power button and have it turn on first time.
Oh, that's very satisfying. I agree with the RAM though. Getting it to click in, very satisfying.
Yes, it wasn't a particularly satisfying click on this board because it only clicks in one end.
Ah, right.
So a lot of the Asus boards have that for the graphics card, which is a very smart design, but you don't get that satisfying click of the clip latching into the module that you get on the other ones. Now, while I'm talking, I've stopped thinking. Here we go, AM4. That's what we probably need.
Yep.
So that will go on the block. And
we'll need to remove these, right?
No, I think, well, there's one of those latches there.
Is this for AM4? No, that's no way.
No. Put down the bracket, Tim. So see this little latch here?
Yep.
I would expect we would have more than one. At the moment, I only see one, which is slightly concerning.
Well, if you have a look at the design of the bracket,
it hooks over that side, yes.
Let's take it out of the packet so people know what
But basically, we don't need to put any mounting brackets on there.
Yeah, so if you see here,
that's clever.
There's a little tab at one end and a sort of a different shaped tab on the other end, and that's probably why we've only got one of these little thingos there.
Yep. So basically, that would pop over either that side or the other side, and then that would come up. There'd be a thumb screw. You latch that over there, do the screw up, applies pressure, you're good to go.
Yeah, someone here asks, this contains the shipping charge. Again, the raffle is available for Australians, and it will be just shipped to you if you're the winner, so you won't have to pay for that, which is good. But as we said, yeah, this is the raffle part, Australian only, but anyone is able to donate via the link in the description below. We've got a super chat here from, it's a difficult name to pronounce, so I'm going to skip that one.
Thank you, though.
Thank you. Personally on 9900K now, but I was thinking to switch to the 5800X 3D, but it would cost me at least €500. So as for now, I'll skip it. So
Not worth it.
Yeah.
9900K is still a great gaming CPU.
Exactly.
I'd be waiting for next generation hardware. Probably waiting till DDR5 comes down to really make that move to a platform. Maybe, if AMD commits to AM5 and says we're going to have this for multiple generations and they actually make a solid commitment rather than we expect, then maybe AM5 would be a place to invest. Or we'll see what Intel does. Maybe Intel fires back with a new platform that they're going to support for more than one generation than the next. But yeah, absolutely agree with you. 900K is still a great gaming CPU. All right, we'll put this aside, gently like that. And I think we're up to case business now, Tim.
Very nice. See, I'm keen to see what this case looks like a bit up close.
So I'll stick these boxes just here. And we'll get these out of the way. So we've got a bit of space. And the box cooler. All right. So don't let me forget putting that in. That'll be embarrassing. And I'll bring this over. It's kind of nice working on a case that doesn't weigh a metric ton.
Because you were just doing your $10,000 PC build.
The Fantex Enthoo Elite. And Chris and I were struggling to move that around.
I've seen it over there. It's
a monster.
It is huge.
So we've made a bit of progress with that. Hopefully I'll be streaming some gameplay in the next week or so. I think we're going to do a test stream for Patreon members tonight, if we are successful.
Yep. Steve will be showing off his Fortnite skills for the Patreon members.
What are you laughing at?
You're actually pretty good. You're actually pretty good at Fortnite.
All right, give me this.
Maybe pretty good is an understatement.
So I'll put this in.
No comments about your Fortnite skills?
I just want to move along swiftly, please. We probably, actually, what if we turn...
We need the case screws.
The case screws.
Which are in here.
Yes, I'll get those out in a moment. I just want to put this in because if you have a I/O shield, that's what they're called, that is not attached to the motherboard, is not pre-installed, my advice is get that sucker out and put it in the case straight away so you don't forget, because forgetting is really annoying. So these are generally not too difficult to install. You just got to try and pop a corner in, then pop another corner in. This one's being a bit difficult. I don't want to bend it. And if we can just...
Almost in that top corner.
I don't know why it's not going, but it's just deciding to be difficult.
Ah, it's always the way, isn't it?
Always. All right, well, maybe we'll try from this corner and we'll go back the other way. If this is going to be the difficult corner, so go. This is why you buy them pre-installed, because this one just doesn't want to go in. I should have got you to do this, Tim.
That's okay. I'm keen on not embarrassing myself by my inability to do it.
You're happy. Just maybe I should turn the case around and do it the least awkward way possible. Come on. All right, go. Yes. What a win. What a win for the live stream, Tim.
Yep.
I let go, pop straight back out, hits me in the face.
All that energy just directing straight towards the Child's Play charity, which is great. Awesome.
It looks good. It's in.
Yep.
It's in great success there. All right. I think we want to stand this up, take the other case door off.
Grab those screws out.
Be funny if I put my fingers through there and pushed it straight back in. I would probably cry a little bit on camera. All right. Now, how do we fetch the screws out? That'll be our next mission, Tim. How do they come out? And I think you have to take the plastic cover off. That's my guess. You're not allowed to read the manual. You got the top
No
down
manual
cover?
reading?
No manual.
Yeah, top down. Let's go.
Yeah. It's against the rules. We have to do it flawlessly, have it turn on first time, and no manual reading.
Is it cheating to use your DeWalt drill for this?
No. I'm too old for doing it the manual way. All right, so we'll take that out for now and put that aside.
Awesome.
Pop that out. And I'll take this off as well. And I think we're going to top mount the radiator. I reckon it looks like it'll fit nice and snug up there. Put all that aside. So we are up to dropping the motherboard in.
Very nice. Plenty of screws there, ready to go. Even include some cable ties, which I always like to see. That's nice.
Yep.
And yes, everyone loves talking about this DeWalt screwdriver.
Do they?
So, Steve, before you put the motherboard in,
what do we?
Let's demo the screwdriver. Why does everyone love this screwdriver so much, including you?
Well, first of all,
This is not sponsored
We
by
are
DeWalt.
in
just
no
to be
way
very clear.
affiliated with DeWalt. You can't even buy this in Australia. I had to import this from the US. So I had to get a power inverter so I can charge the 8-volt battery. But it's very cool. So I explained all of this on a live stream before, so I apologize to those of you who heard this long-winded explanation. But basically, I change CPU coolers and stuff a lot and hate using the screwdriver over and over again many times a day. So I've tried using little compact drills, and I've tried a few different brands that I won't mention, but they've all kind of been awkward. Like you have to click it in to go left and then click it to go right, which doesn't sound that bad, but it's kind of annoying. And I just didn't find they worked that well. And one of our Patreon members or Float Play members, I don't remember which one, but one of our Hardware Unboxed community members said, Steve, you have to go buy this. It's amazing. It's quite expensive. I think it was like 300-ish Australian dollars, which seemed a bit absurd, but worth every last cent. I would buy it again in a heartbeat. So what it is it's a gyroscopic, or it uses gyroscopic technology. So you don't push a button for left or right. These buttons here simply allow you to go turn it like that if you want to use it that way, but I prefer to use it in sort of the gun configuration because that's just what I'm used to with drills. So no left or right, you simply pull the trigger. We seeing this okay on camera? Maybe
Sort of.
Put the top down again. I think that works well. Yeah, you pull the trigger and then you just turn it the way you want to go. So if you want to go fast that way, you just turn it that way. And then you can even go up. So if I reset the trigger and pull, now if I go that way. So anyway, it's very cool. And I think that's probably enough on the live stream. Don't make me do that again, all right?
Now, people love seeing that screwdriver.
I know.
It's awesome.
It's very awesome, very easy to use.
And not sponsored by DeWalt. It is just a genuinely good product.
Yes, and last time people were freaking out a bit when it made that sound. They thought it was breaking or something. That's just a torque setting. So when you hear it making that sort of loud ratchety sound, it's torqued the screw to the desired torque. So I've got it on 15. And yeah, if I go to max, it will just snap the screw straight off. 15 is great, does them all up nice and tight. So when you hear that sound, the ratchety sort of sound, nothing is malfunctioning or breaking. Just want to put your mind at ease. So, motherboard. Let's get back to building, Tim.
It's all part of the building process, your screwdriver collection.
Yeah, we'll pop that in. So that has slotted in nicely. And yeah, that's in. How's it looking from the front with the I/O? Does it look like everything's lined up? Well, I thought just change the camera.
Just change the camera.
I'm asking the viewers, Tim.
Yes, using the technology we have available to us. That's probably a good idea.
So,
right?
there we go. Looks good to me.
Yep.
Put it down. All right. I am going to...
Here's a little baggie of screws for you.
Is that... Oh, good work. All right.
I've been doing so much on this build.
Yeah. Well, you just keep an eye on the chat.
So we have way back here a question from Lars. Super chat. Again, thanks for your super chat. The best way to donate for this stream is the links in the description below, but we of course appreciate super chats as well. When do you think that real HDR will become standard in gaming monitors, which can be bought for reasonable money?
That's a good Tim question.
I'm expecting a lot more HDR monitors this year. So there's at least like half a dozen that look decent, OLED ones, mini LED, LCD ones, second half of this year. I think we'll be getting like 42-inch ones based on the C2 panel OLED TVs, that is. But they're probably still, most of them, going to cost at least $1,000 US. So probably around, they won't be $3,000 anymore. They'll probably be $1,500, $1,000 US. So whether that's reasonable money is questionable, because probably more than the vast majority of people spend on their monitor. But pricing is coming down. So hopefully within a couple of years, we'll have some really good quality options that don't cost $1,500 and are $800 maybe, $700, who knows. But it should be plenty more options in the second half of this year, fingers crossed.
Some satisfying peel. Nice. I think that's the only plastic on the heat sinks that we want to get rid of.
Yep, looking good.
Yep. All right, so we have motherboard installed. I think probably the next thing we'd want to do, Tim, is the cooler. I reckon that's the next stop.
Fair bit of putting together on that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think we'll mount the fans to the radiator first. That's always a good place to start.
So where are we going to be mounting this? In the top of the case?
I think we're going to go, I reckon the block, I think that's upright, the block. So I think like that is how we'd want to go.
And are we going to be violating the Gamers Nexus rules? Who knows?
No, who
Probably.
cares? No one listens to Gamers Nexus. They're irrelevant.
Certainly don't get their mod mat or anything, which
Yeah,
is great and
sure.
we use for a lot of things.
No, we love Gamers Nexus. I'm just joking. Don't get the pitchforks out. If Steve's watching, he'll just be laughing. But he's probably, no doubt, busy doing actual real work, would be my guess. But we appreciate them. Steve did send the mod mat to me. I much appreciate that. We have a lot of cool GN merch around here, actually. A few of the patrons were asking that.
Coasters are in the other set.
You can grab the coaster if you want. Yeah. Give them a plug. They deserve it. All right, where are the screws for the? These things are awesome.
Gamers Nexus coaster in our hands right here. It's very nice.
Yeah,
very high quality.
I use the GPU one for my coffee. I'd show it, but it's got a coffee stain on it. I mean, it cleans off, but I haven't cleaned it, so I won't show that.
It's very nice.
I'll swap sides with you.
Yep, swap sides.
Just because this is here. And,
yes, and yeah, as a reminder, this PC will be getting raffled off to people who live in Australia to support the Child's Play charity. So if you click on the link in the description, you'll go to the Child's Play charity sort of landing page, and you can either sign up to the raffle. I think the tickets are $5 Australian, maybe it's $5 US, can't quite remember. Something around there to go into the running to win this PC. Obviously, the proceeds of that do go directly to charity. So it's kind of like you either win the PC or you donate to charity. So you should feel pretty good either way. It's a win-win, isn't it? It is a win-win.
It's a win-win.
And for people outside of Australia, Child's Play does operate in many different countries around the world. Australia, US, some European countries as well. So there is a donate button for just donating directly to Child's Play.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's happening with this PC. Specs so far, we've put in the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X on the Asus Tough Gaming B550 Plus
Wi-Fi?
Plus
Plus Wi-Fi?
Trying to look for the...
Come on, it's not even a monitor name, Tim. You should have this down pat by now.
If it's a random jumble of letters and numbers,
You're
I'll
good.
nail it,
Yeah,
first try. Like, don't even need to struggle. If it's like three different
If it's actual words that are pronounced.
Words, so much harder than just numbers. That motherboard...
You're an actual computer.
Corsair has provided us this storage and memory. So we've got the Corsair MP600 1TB PCI 4.0 SSD, 16 gigabytes DDR4 3200 CL16 dual channel going in there as well. And then later on we will be putting in this. Let me put this around the right way so you can see it. The Asus AMD Radeon RX 6600 Dual is going in here as well. So it's a very sensible mid-range, bang for buck gaming PC configuration. So yeah, that's the stuff. Asus and Corsair have been supporting this build as well. So not only are they providing the hardware for this, it's being raffled off for Child's Play, but them and us at Hardware Unboxed, we are donating $5,000 US to Child's Play as well. So yeah, even before the raffle tickets come in, we're already well ahead for Child's Play, which is great. Fantastic to support them and everything they do for children in hospital that just want a bit of entertainment, bit of something to take their mind off whatever's going on.
Yep. Exactly. All right. I was worried for a second that I might have to consult the manual, but I pushed on Tim.
Here it is. It's tempting you. It's tempting you.
No, get that out of here. No, we don't need it. No, we're all good. We're back on track. All right. So
they give you a sticker packet as well when you get that particular cooler. What cooler are we using? It is the...
So that pops in like that. Cool, cool, cool.
This is the cooler that Steve's setting up on his side of the stream. It is the Tough Gaming LC240 ARGB. Like I said, it comes with this cool little sticker packet. I'm just going to... Now people can sort of see what you're doing a bit better there.
I'm just struggling in my own way. It's all right. You don't need to zoom in on this. It's fine. It's got a little inch. I like this because a lot of them don't have this little plastic bit here. And constantly when I'm doing especially the VRM thermal testing, every time I take it off, this just falls off and you got to make sure it doesn't fall on the motherboard. So the fact that clips in there quite easily like that, I like. That's probably enough thermal paste.
You're going to have to move it slightly further in so people can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I was sort of talking to you, wasn't I? Not paying attention. So yeah, I think, should we go with the stock paste or should we reapply?
Well, do we have any thermal paste handy?
I can quickly grab some
Do you have some?
I think I've got some Thermal Grizzly sitting here.
Yeah, let's do it. Thermal Grizzly has sponsored the channel before for some ads, so always love them.
Well, and their stuff's really good.
And their stuff's really good. That always helps as well. Let's see if I've missed anything in the chat. Hazzy Devil says, "Hey mum, I'm famous." Well, there you go. You are famous. You've got your message on the Hardware Unboxed channel. I mean,
it's
always lovely.
You've made it at that point. You really have.
Watching from Moldova. Do you know where it is? Do you know where it is?
I won't lie. No, I've heard of it.
It's in Europe.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, that narrows it down somewhat. It's not in Australia.
Not in Australia. I'd like to think you'd know most of the Australian states.
Yeah, roughly.
You could get at least 3/4 of them.
Yeah. I think we're in Victoria, right?
Believe so.
Cool. That's all we need to know. This is awkward. Maybe I'll do a bit across here. I'll admit I've done better. The RAM is in my way and leaning over.
You were so eager to put the RAM in and it's now just biting you.
Well, normally I would just do a fat dot, but it's got this nice little spreading thing and it does work well, but I think that's enough to get... We could mount it, see what it's like, take it off and clean it all and do it again.
Yep. Let's try not to do that though.
Oh, you don't want to? You don't want to see how it goes and then do it again?
So, Steve is currently going off to get a cloth to wipe off the, as you can see here.
I was going to get a wet wipe, but I think I'll just do a dry tissue. I'm back, everyone. All right. There you go. So that comes off nice. There we go. Look how shiny that is. You got the top down. Oh no, I'll reflect it off the camera and blind everybody through their screens. Hopefully, I haven't got HDR on. Not this an HDR stream, but
oh, I wish.
Yeah,
I wish we could stream in HDR.
I had to say that because people would be like, "Oh, it's not HDR." I'm like, I know. Now, Tim.
Yep.
Where is that little clip?
Ooh.
What did we do with that? Do you reckon? What do you think where do you think I lost that? Now it's possibly over here.
It's not on the ground, is it? Don't think so.
No. Well, if we've dropped it on the ground, this is going to be awkward. I do have more somewhere, but there'll be a embarrassing pause while I go look for it.
Is it under the case?
No, I don't think so. Sorry, you read chat and just pretend like you're stalling for 5 minutes while I look for it. No one will notice. It'll be fine.
Oh, here it is.
There you go. See,
that's what you're looking for?
Yeah, I knew you'd find it. And then we need the thumb screws, which are right here. There we go.
Yeah, so the board does look small in the case, but there will be this shroud that we've got over here. They'll be installed into this bottom area.
And then the person that wins it, they might have a computer already and they might want to mount their SSDs, their 3.5-inch drives. I don't know. But there's room to expand, basically. We're giving you the essentials and then you can go from there. Here we go. This is what I want. So this, I don't know how well we're going to show this on camera. That just goes in there, I guess. And then that goes like that. And you probably just want to do it up like 3 turns. All right. Now, do you want to hold the radiator and not drop it on the motherboard?
Yep, easy. I can not drop stuff.
I was going to say, maybe we'll wait till we do it before we celebrate how easy it was. So that clip's over there. I like that. That was nice and easy. And without looking... Oh, hang on. I want to turn that around. It's on an angle. There we go. That made a good sound. I liked that sound. Did you like that sound? Tim liked
Always like the satisfying clicks of success.
So I'm guessing we've done that right. And I'll probably just do that up till it's sort of finger tight. So I don't want to put the drill on that. I think that would be unwise. There you go. That's not moving.
Floatplane or Patreon, which is the best place to sub to other than YouTube? Well, if you subscribe to the Hardware Unboxed Floatplane account, sometimes you get our videos a little bit earlier than they are on YouTube. So that's one of the main benefits of signing up to Floatplane. We don't really say it's early access because not every video is early access, but some of them.
It's a sometimes perk.
Sometimes perk. And then obviously Patreon, Patreon has thousands of creators on there. So it might be the best place for you if you want to sign up to other creators as well. So either of them gives you the perks of the Hardware Unboxed community. So things like the Discord chat and all that, and some BTS videos coming up very soon, actually, which is good. And we just did our live stream before this.
Yes, we did. We did an hour and a half or something, quite a while. Answered everyone's questions. Now, that wants to go there, I reckon. I'm going to get the drill onto that because it was hard to do it by hand. All right. How's it look from your side, Tim?
Looking pretty good.
Yeah, happy with that?
Pretty good. We'll have to remove that very satisfying protective plastic that I see
So
there.
ideally,
I'm just eyeing that off.
Ideally, I would have liked to have put it more here.
Yep.
But looking at the top, the 120mm fan stuff is more towards the front. So I mean, you could.
There appears to be another set of
That's for
holes there at the very front.
Oh, it's under the strap, Tim. Good spotting.
So you probably can put it the
Yeah,
full way
I would
forward.
rather do that. I think
I think it'll look better.
Yeah, the tubes won't be as stretched.
Yeah.
You'll have a bit more flexibility to manage those. So under the handle here. Oh, you're right.
So somebody in the chat here asked us, do we have a Steam Deck? Well, funnily enough, this raffle is available for people in Australia, but the Steam Deck is not. So that's why we don't have one.
That is correct. Otherwise, we would have covered it. Tim would have almost certainly done a video, I would have thought.
Yeah, and someone asked as well, I saw before, I think someone entered the raffle when they weren't from Australia, which I believe will act just like a donation effectively.
Yeah.
So, as we said, the raffle is available for Australian people in Australia for legal and logistics reasons, and then everyone else, if you feel the need to or want to support the Child's Play charity, there's a donate button there as well.
And hopefully that information is made clearly on the page. I
would hope so.
I believe it is.
We did look at the page before it
Yes.
went live, so
I believe it is. If someone in chat wants to confirm that, we'd appreciate that. Just so that no one thinks they're entering and they're not.
Nick says, you guys are awesome. Keep up the good stuff. Love your content. Thanks, Nick.
Very nice. Nick didn't even ask a question. He was just sending some love.
It's always nice.
No,
Makes our job easier. No questions, no work.
That is very nice of Nick. All right, I'm putting in every screw here. Except I am missing a washer. Is there a washer floating around now? Oh, here it is. You have just the right amount of washers if you want to put all the fans and all the screws in. I thought we might as well. It's pretty effortless to put these in. So that radiator is absolutely never going anywhere unless you undo like 8 screws. Okay. That's the all-in-one liquid cooler. So there's a bit of plastic here, but we'll pull that off. Or we might just leave that for shipping and stuff and the person who owns it can pull it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Well, we might as well put the graphics card in, Tim.
Let's do it.
So we want to take that out.
I'll take it out of the box. It is brand new and sealed.
Where are we? I'll move that there. You've got the front camera on as well, just in the small bit, so I can wave to everyone. You can see
Where
it.
did our scissors go?
They're just here.
Just over here?
Yep. I was initially putting things back in boxes and neat because I knew we'd start losing stuff left, right, and centre. And then I stopped. So I might start clearing stuff up a bit. I'll put the thermal grizzly away. We'll save that for another.
Prize thermal grizzly.
Yeah, we'll put that in the background here for another build. It's very handy to have. I might chuck these screws here and these brackets because we don't need them. I'll just chuck that screw on the ground. Never to be seen again, Tim.
Or was that my foot? Yeah, it's just there. Yeah, there
Good job. And I'll chuck.
Here we go.
All right. Well,
Brand new GPU ready in the packet.
ready for action?
No dropping it. Dropping it is forbidden.
No, don't drop it.
A lot of protective plastic on that one too. There you
Well,
go.
You don't want to take that? You don't want to do
I'm just
that?
going to add something into the description about how the raffle is for Australians, which will make it a bit clearer for people.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. You do that while I struggle with this plastic. It's that plastic that's really hard and it's got good grip, but then once you get started, not too bad. I don't know why I'm doing this over the computer. It seems like I'm asking for trouble, but we live dangerously here.
There we go. Done.
Excellent. Nice work, Tim. All right.
So remove the
there's one.
the IO shield, didn't
There's
you?
one on the stainless steel. There you go. That's sort of on camera. So you're going to pop all of those out. Then, ooh, look at that. So shiny. 304 stainless steel. You love to see that on your graphics card. Oh, there's some... Honestly, we probably should have got DeWalt to throw some money into the charity as well. For the
We'll have to just...
I should get some tape and put it over that.
The funny thing is, you put the tape over this, and people will still know exactly what it is.
Well,
But-
I'll spray the whole thing blue. It'll be Harbour Unboxed blue.
But yes, Asus and Corsair have partnered with us on this particular build, as well as, of course, us here at Hardware Unboxed. So that's why you'll see mostly Asus and Corsair. In fact, every single component is either from Asus or Corsair.
Hang on. Some ASMR. You ready? Amazing. That is just... Whoa. We're getting everything on this live stream. All right. I think every little bit of plastic is peeled off that. So... Done. Just like that, Tim.
Yep.
I mean, I probably have to put some screws in up here, but other than that, I mean, that's pretty good. I think.
Yes, and yeah, as a reminder, in the link to the donate page may say something about Lego or something when you are getting your raffle tickets. But just to be very clear, the raffle is not for Lego. It is for this PC that we're building right here, right now.
They were channeling their inner Tim.
So yeah, they saw, like I said earlier, they saw the Daily Bugle in the background, and they were like, "Yep, it's Lego," but no, it is the PC. Obviously, just some sort of error on the page.
Copy and paste error. I'll
That
put
will
it down
be
to you.
all sorted.
I've been there many times. All right, we have some RGB, some pump. Where is the pump header? Is it the grey one? I reckon it would be.
CPU fan, CPU opt.
Yeah, I think it might be the black one. Well, we will definitely consult the manual for that in a moment. Just to
Where
make...
is the manual? It's over here.
It'll probably be in the motherboard box.
Here we go.
Yeah, you find that out, Tim. You do the research, Tim. Just want to make sure the pump is in the right header so we don't blow up a fan header by accident at some point in the future. Okay. The great thing about building PCs on live streams is that you get to see all the super fun cable management stuff. So what a treat. What amazing viewing. Okay, Tim, I think we are up to power supply.
So the fan head is available, CPU fan, CPU opt, and then 3 fans.
Doesn't tell you what color it is, or where it is on the board.
I don't think there's a dedicated pump header on that particular board.
Right.
So you can see they all do the same sort of things.
Yeah, they're on 1 amp current. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
all 12 watts. So
I think that should be enough, to be honest. But we can double check with the pump what rating the pump is. But we'll get the power supply in first. All right, power connectors. That power connector can go on the bin because it's European. And we have the Aussie one here.
very nice.
We have our certificate of reliability. Oh, that looked great on camera. Maybe that angle. There you go. We got some stickers, which we'll probably send with the PC.
We've got heaps of Asus Tough stickers. Heaps.
Stickers for days. All right, not a modular power supply, this one. But we do have a nice cable management basement, so it shouldn't be a problem. And it means that the person who wins, they get all the cables. I don't forget to put some in. So what are we doing here?
So what is this case? A few people have been asking what the case is in the chat.
It does have. It has a specific model number.
Where's the box? Let me find the box.
I thought you got the box is over there, Tim, with all my other boxes. Yep. I think it's a 501 or something like that, maybe.
You are right. Asus Tough Gaming GT 501.
There you go. All right, I'll put the cable back in there. We have a bit of plastic here, which I'm going to peel off. You can't really see that, but take my word for it. Oh, I've got no nails, Tim. I can't get it. There we go.
Oh, let me answer this super chat while you're busy with this power supply.
All right.
Pineapple Pizza. I own an ASRock B350 Pro 4. Did you just laugh at ASRock straight away?
No, the Pineapple Pizza name. Don't be rude, Tim.
I own an ASRock B350 Pro 4, but it has been neglected by ASRock. The Zen 3 BIOS has not been released for it, but the Micro 8X version of it gets it. I think that
it may be still being rolled out.
Yeah,
it may still being rolled out.
Some companies will release all of the updates at once. Some will go, here's some of the boards, and we'll go through them over time, which is probably the case for that board.
Yeah, I could contact ASRock for you and see if we can get them to reply, but I'd say it's probably in the works. Hopefully to get it in the next week or so.
Mario B says, hi from Croatia. I bet you can pinpoint us on a map. Yes, you've got a very distinct country shape with Croatia, so I think we'll do an okay job there with that one.
Alright, what have we got here, Tim? I think we can mount it in that way, no worries.
So, as someone asks, is EU eligible for the raffle? So, this PC that we're building right now will be raffled off to people who live in Australia. That's for logistic and legal reasons, but all those raffle tickets will be going directly to the Child's Play charity. So, yeah, they will be supporting those directly. And then if you were outside Australia, but you still wanted to support Child's Play, there's a link in the description below, which will have the donation page for you. So raffle or donation, links are in the description.
Installed.
Easy.
Now you can deal with the cables.
Yeah, fun.
So we've got this mess to deal with. I guess we'll start with the 24-pin ATX connector. I reckon that's probably good.
So people have been asking some even more difficult geography questions.
Oh, well, you can handle them.
Can we pinpoint Canada on a map?
Yeah,
that's difficult, man.
I imagine that's relatively easy. Do we have a map? But yes, we know where Canada is. It's on the border of Mexico. Sorry,
is that just a state of the US? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, no, it is right.
I believe so.
No, it is for sure. They get along swimmingly.
I believe that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of comings and goings. And we should probably change the subject to something else before we get ourselves into trouble. It's a charity bill.
Shane says, I just bought... Well, people from the Canada and the US, surely they aren't awake now. Shane... they can watch the replay, can't they? Shane has sent us a super
region
chat
block it.
saying, I just bought 5 tickets, and just so everyone else buying them knows, the $5 is US dollar, not AUD. So,
there you
yeah,
go.
Child's Play, while they do operate in Australia and have partnerships with some local Australian hospitals, they are primarily based in the US, so that's probably the reason there. Do all their payment processing in USD. But it's like 5 USD or 5 AUD. That donation does go straight to charity, which is great, and obviously enters you into winning this PC. So whether it's US or AUD, it's still a great cause.
Definitely. I'm just getting this grommet back in. There we go. The PSU cable's leaning on it quite heavily, so it's trying to push it out constantly. But I think we're good, Tim. How's that look?
You'll figure it out. It's looking good.
We'll get it there one day.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
So we need the 8-pin connector now. And that would be that one. Nice, good length on that. You can put this in quite a large case.
Just like that one you put your PC in the other day.
It would work in that case, and it does appear to be long enough. So this one will probably come up there, across the back, which you guys can't see, and then through there. It's pretty difficult to show cable management stuff with 2 static cameras. So while I'm doing this, you'll probably just I don't know, get us in trouble or something, Tim. I don't know.
I always get people in trouble. The next geography question is, can we pinpoint Australia?
Where?
I'm not sure.
Oh, that's that little slice next to that big landmass off to the right.
I believe so.
Yeah,
I
it's the
believe
same.
so.
Actually, it might even be the same country.
Yeah, I think that's... Oh, one of them's a state of the other one.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Kelvin also says, just got my ticket. Yeah, thanks for entering the raffle. And the raffle winner will be, as someone has just asked, when the raffle winner will be drawn. They'll be drawn, I believe it'll tell you on the link in the description, but it will be drawn in a couple of weeks. And obviously, Child's Play, ASUS, all those companies will be reaching out to the winner, but also we'll be mentioning it on probably our Hardware Unboxed Twitter account. It's probably the main
it's probably
place
the most appropriate place to
we'll
do that.
be letting the winner know. And again, raffle tickets, Australia only. Everyone else can donate to Child's Play if they so feel.
Don't know how this is looking on camera. Sorry for the awkwardness, but it's difficult to do this. And that was the USB 3 header. So from the front panel.
Yeah, those.
USB 3, that's in. And now we have the front HD audio. So that'll be going on the motherboard, I imagine, somewhere in that area. So,
Right, so what components are in the PC? So we've got Ryzen 5 5600X, and the GPU is the RX 6600 not the tough model, the dual model from ASUS.
That's right.
We've got the ASUS Tough Gaming B550 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard. We've got Corsair's provider 16 gigabytes of DDR4 memory and a 1 terabyte PCIe 4.0 SSD. And we've got a 750 watt power supply from ASUS. We've got the LC240 liquid cooler from ASUS as well, plus their nice tough gaming case with the handles on it, so you can carry it around.
Yep. Now, how does this go back in, Tim? I may have to lay this down just so I can see what I'm doing, because I actually can't. Oh, so it goes... Whoop, I just folded the mod mat up. Lucky
Gamers Nexus just
lucky it's
coming
durable.
to assassinate you.
No. People were so upset when I did the new desk build tour when I stood on this, and Steve found it very funny. He's like, you could use it as a doormat if you want. It's that durable. All right. So screw that in there, and potentially one there. It's all good.
Daniel says, greetings from Germany. Finally, I can catch you live. The supporter stream was 5 a.m. here.
Oh.
Yeah, so this sounds like this person might be a Patreon or Float Play member.
Yes, definitely. Well,
yeah, unfortunately, our usual time for that is early in the morning for Europe.
Having said that, as soon as this finishes, Tim and I are hoping to fire up another Patreon or Float Plane stream and stream some gameplay with some friends. And
yeah, so
Tim will be
Steve's
there.
going to be absolutely annihilating noobs in Fortnite in a moment on our Patreon live stream. So there'll be another stream that we didn't announce, except for in the Discord chat.
If you want to come in and watch me get owned, then that should be fun. That's providing we get this computer up and running. So that little cable management cubby cover thing, majigger, is installed. You might want to change the camera angle now.
I will.
Get on
Done.
to that. Wow, look how fast you are. You're an excellent cameraman.
One button is all it takes.
So, we've got that back. And the reason I put that back in is because we have the front audio and the front panel connectors, like, the power switch and all that kind of stuff.
So Deepski says, is that stream Float Plane only? No, the stream we're talking about where Steve will be destroying noobs is...
Well, it'll be
for Patreon. The link will be in the Discord. If you're a Patreon or Float Plane member, links will be in the Discord community. You'll be able to go straight to the stream once we get going for Steve to play some games after this.
And it's just going to be like after hours type party
just
type
chatting.
thing. Snacks,
We got
drinks.
some Pringles. We're having some fun.
Yeah. And Tim will be giving me... If you want to see Tim just giving me the hardest time ever, this is the place to be.
Yeah. Sandy says in a super chat, thanks for the contribution. I built for AM4 in lockdown, not realizing end of life AM4. Is paying out for a motherboard / CPU and DDR5 inevitable, or is there any hope of maybe keeping my DDR4 at least? So AMD has confirmed that AM5 CPUs, so Ryzen 7000 series onwards, will not support DDR4 memory. There's no DDR4 memory controller, which is the same as their the Ryzen 6000 series for laptops as well, was DDR5 only, and LPDDR5.
Yep.
So, unfortunately...
But
your DDR4 will not work. But there's plenty of CPUs on that platform that are very good.
Yeah, that platform will be good for gaming and whatever you want for plenty of time to come. And AMD have said they're committed for years to that platform. They're committed to it. What does that mean exactly? We're not sure. But surely it means at the very least a GIGSA code updates and things like that, security patches, all of those sort of things. So they'll keep the platform up to date. It will not be a discontinued product.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure whether this will happen, but this year we've seen AMD release new Zen 2 based products onto the AM4 socket. Very low-end stuff. Like, I believe there was a Ryzen 4000 series, couple of APUs there that were released for AM4. So it's no guarantee that as soon as we move to AM5, that AM4, they just won't release anything anymore, because you'd think around that $100 mark, we might start seeing in a couple of years, say, a Zen 3 based product that's very cheap. So I have the top-down camera for whatever you're doing here.
I'm just putting in the front connectors, and I'm sort of guessing where they go.
Yep.
So just the standard sort of stuff we do. The Asus one is slightly
James
different.
says, still waiting for the tweezers and the Swiss Army knife. I believe we've got our tweezers here, right?
We do, yeah. We've got a whole heap of unused tweezers, actually.
Maybe these tweezers will be going in there.
They are only one-time only tweezers, those ones, so I do have to stress that point.
One time only. Yes.
Single-use tweezers.
And another super chat, can't ship to Europe because it will arrive upside down, I guess. Yeah, I mean, we would love to be able to ship it, but just for some logistical and legal reasons, unfortunately,
basically, Asus said no. So,
well, yes, and doing raffles depends on the country as to whether.
If it was a PC giveaway, we wouldn't have gone for it, because we only like to do global stuff. But because it's a charity for a really great charity, we said sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure the viewers will be understanding that although it's Australia only, it's for a good cause, so there won't be any complaints. Was how I put that one.
Yep, fingers crossed on that one.
It's absolutely how it's going to go, Tim. No doubt about it.
Yep.
We have a great audience, a lot of reasonable people, so it'll be just fine. All right, so I'm just putting both of the radiator fans into a single 4-pin, so it just joins them together. Nice. We've already got 2 things plugged in up here, so we might run that down to the bottom of the board. We can definitely tune that later.
Yep. So I've seen a couple of comments over the course of the stream from people in Australia who have had the donation blocked by their bank. Just to be clear, Child's Play is a US-based charity, so the donation that you're making will be going to the US. So it shouldn't be a surprise, I guess. It's not like a fraudulent thing that you're doing. It is a legitimate charity based in the US, which is why it may trigger some of your things. So obviously something you'll just have to sort out between yourself and your bank. Fingers crossed it will work for you. But that would be the reason why something like that would happen.
I should know, but I don't actually know. The link should be valid for a little while.
Yeah, you don't have to. You'll be able to do it right up until whatever date is listed.
Yeah, I can speak to them anyway and make sure that it is possible to enter the raffle for the next week or so. So don't stress if you want to enter and you can't do it right now. We'll make sure that you'll have time to enter.
Same with people watching the replay. If you're watching, if you've gotten an hour into the replay and you're really want to get into, chance to win tickets is on sale until Friday, June 17th.
There you go.
2022.
Good work, Tim.
Yes, that's pretty much how it goes. So you'll have plenty of time to get that sorted with your bank. And that's pretty much it. But even though Child's Play is based in the United States and a lot of the hospitals that they work with are in the US, there are also some hospitals in Australia. For example, the Royal Children's here in Victoria, one of the main children's hospitals in our area, is part of the Child's Play network, and so they do some charity work there. Several locations in Europe as well. But all that information, if you're interested in the locations where Child's Play is operating, we have a link to the Child's Play website in the description. You can learn everything about the charity and what they do. But basically, they help out kids in hospital who are struggling with illnesses and various things. Get a bit of entertainment through gaming, whether that's PC gaming, console gaming, other sorts of gaming, and fun entertainment for them. I think it's a really good charity. It's well worth supporting. So that's why we're here doing the build.
So I'm now doing the absolute, without question, hardest part of any build. Connecting the 3-pin RGB header.
Yeah.
Because the holes just in there. It's like, remember the 4-pin Molex connectors, how difficult they were? This is like them on steroids. Can you hold this light there for me, please?
Sure.
I've got to get... Can we see how well can you see that on camera? Do you want to go full top down?
Full top down.
So one of the hardest things you'll ever do in life is get this here. I'm not overstating this in the least. That there has to go down on that little white header there. 3 small pins to go in 3 small holes. You'd think it wouldn't be that difficult. And there is only one way they go.
Yep.
But I do have it the right way.
Just mash it in.
Yeah, just mash it in. Can you bring the light a little more of my hands in the way? So, I don't know why this is so difficult, but it's like there's no holes there. See how it just won't... I might have to take the graphics card out, honestly, to get to it. I'll try the next one over. I have had trouble with these before.
Oh, nailed it.
So
First try.
The next one over went fine. I don't know why that one there... They look exactly the same. See how it's missing the pin there?
Yeah, maybe one of the pins is like slightly misaligned.
It really doesn't look like it. But anyway, I'm glad that went on because we could have been there for a good hour trying to get that on.
Yep. And it's confusing because there's another header just next to it
so
that
that's
has all 4 pins.
That's a 4-pin one, yeah. We don't want that one. Alright, so we are now one gigantic step closer. So all of this stuff is also for the case addressable. So here...
No one can see that at the back.
Oh yeah, what am I doing?
Unfortunately.
I'm just sort of talking to myself, aren't I?
But Butter Knife says, can you re-enter and purchase more than 40 tickets? I actually don't know on that one. I don't know if there's a ticket limit. If 40 tickets is the maximum, no idea. But yeah.
But yeah, indeed. Okay, so this can connect to the motherboard as well, so we can control it with the motherboard software rather than use that controller.
Yep. What sort of controller is that?
So I believe they will...
yeah.
I believe if we remove the controller, they will power off the motherboard. So we'll try that first, because that'd be neat if they can all run off software.
AJ Tech TV, thanks for the super chat. Molex or old front panel, including the speaker, which is harder?
Actually, that's just not going to reach.
Yeah, Molex connectors were always difficult because the actual connector would often just fall apart, especially after like a few
So
insertions.
what were the 2 options, sorry?
Molex or old front panel, including the speaker?
Ooh, well, they went in easy. It was just a matter of like finding out what went where, right?
Yeah.
So that wasn't so bad. If you read the manual, not too much of a problem. But the Molex, you could stand there wriggling them and trying to shove them in for so long, and they just refused.
Just such a not robust connector. Like,
Well,
it's
it's
to be connected once.
Yeah, not even that it's, I guess robust in the sense. It's not precise.
Yeah.
It's just 4 things wiggling as they will. And
and if you got really crappy Molex connectors, sometimes the pins would start to detach.
yes,
so
they
you
push
them
push
in,
out the back.
Push out the back.
Yeah. That's when you got really angry and used too much force. They'd retreat. Okay, so we have a graphics card in here, don't we? Is it 1 6-pin or 1 8-pin? You're not going to look for me, are you?
Chaotic is saying, do you know if there's import tax on the prize we would have to pay on collection?
Well, it's Australia
Again,
only.
Australia only, so shipping from Australia to Australia, no import tax there. If you're outside of Australia, you unfortunately are not eligible for the raffle, but you can donate to Child's Play either way. So, yeah, that's pretty much that. What are you struggling with at the moment? Oh, not even struggling, to be honest.
Just in general. Just in general,
life?
Tim.
Struggling with life? Fair enough.
I've spent the whole day with you. I'm now doing a live stream with you.
It is a challenge.
Just the expected struggles, to be honest. So there we go. We have the 8-pin. I might like tweezer.
Tweezer it?
I've got to stop saying that because people will be like, what are wrong with these guys? I'll probably cable tie that. Maybe something like that, just to make it look a little bit neater.
James with the super chat says, I wish there was just one larger plug to connect the front panel to the motherboard.
Yes.
They could use adapters during the transition. When you get older, it's a lot harder to see. Yeah, I agree.
There's no need to follow up on that one, Tim. Just agree. There's no need for any...
Even I struggle, and I'm not that old, I don't think.
No need for any follow-up commentary from you, mate. Just, here we go. We do have a... Oh, hang on. We've got to lay this down after all. So that will be okay laying it down that way, as long as we do it gently. All right, here we go. We've talked about this at length. There is one of these. Oh, hang on, where's the camera? There is one of these in the build, and we have a 4-pin Molex connector, people. Let's see. Oh, there we go.
Bit of difficulty.
We gave him a bad rap. I thought we were starting off with a struggler, but it went in relatively easy. So we'll tuck that ancient technology down there, never to be seen again. And we'll just stuff all that in there for now.
Russ asks, was there a definitive answer on what causes the USB issue with AM4? Greeting from Brisbane. It's cold enough to wear my hardware unavailable hoodie.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. I know they solved it or claimed to have solved it via a BIOS update. I'm not sure whether they ever actually gave an answer as to why.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get that information from them.
Yeah, they probably don't want to divulge what went wrong.
Yes.
Companies usually prefer only to talk about what they've done.
I asked
right.
a few questions about that at the AGISA update, the 12.0.7, and didn't get too much information on that one. Mainly inquiring about should there be any performance changes, which I did make a Twitter post. A few people were asking what performance improvements are there for parts like the 5800X 3D with the latest AGISA microcode, and the answer is zip, none. And I have benchmarked it and tested it, and there were none. I asked AMD if that's the expected behavior, and they said yes, absolutely no performance improvements expected for especially modern boards. If you had an older board that supported like a 300 series board or a 400 series board that supported the 5800X 3D, it may have improved performance there, but it wasn't a performance related update, it was a stability update. So hopefully that answers that one for a few of you. I'm just going to quickly neaten these up, Tim, and we're just about there.
Awesome.
It's time to... So how have Asus done these little ties here? Oh, yep. Easy enough. We'll put that there. Got any other questions, Tim?
Not at the moment, just people talking about Molex and various stuff and USB port issues and
all the fun stuff.
People saying the USB issue was not solved.
Okay.
Someone moved to 12th gen because of it. So.
Oh wow! I fortunately have never run into it, so that's lucky, I guess. That said, I never had any issues, and you never had any issues with the 5700 XT. So we seem to be good at dodging a lot of these problems.
And yeah, this motherboard will not require a BIOS update to run the 5600X.
Correct.
It comes
correct.
Straight out of the box with support, which is great.
But we will update it to the latest version anyway for the person who gets it, because it's a pretty easy process, and why not?
How do you feel about the Samsung Neo G8 4K 240Hz monitor? I've seen this question. Don't know if it's the same person asking this question, or I've seen it a few times. I'm very interested to check it out, to be honest. It looks good. It's got HDR capabilities, obviously a high performance 4K as well, but don't know if Samsung will provide one. I don't know if they're coming to Australia just yet, so ability to review it is kind of up in the air at the moment.
I think I wants to send him one.
He wants to send me one?
Oh,
Please get in touch.
You'll pay for it.
Yep, provided the shipping is not $5,000.
Yeah, then you can pay for it.
Jared says, this project looks cool. Quick question. Do you think a 600 watt power supply is enough for a 3060 Ti non-overclocked and a 4750G Pro CPU, or is that an APU? Should be plenty, I would have thought.
Yeah, it's plenty for sure. If that's what you've already got, then fine. For anyone looking at buying a PSU, have a look how much the 750 watt models are, because if it's sometimes it's $10 more. So doesn't necessarily mean that the components are better. Probably watch a few reviews from people who specialize in power supplies, because that's absolutely not us. But yeah, do some research on that. But if you can get around the 750 watt mark, that's generally pretty good headroom for mid-range hardware, mid-range to some high-end.
Yep.
The stuff that doesn't go beyond diminishing returns, like a 3090 Ti type product where they overclock the snot out of it to get a bit more performance, and it eats up tons of power. I should have some water soon. I was getting a bit parched.
Lots of people making fun of $5,000 shipping.
Yeah, we don't recommend you pay that, actually. I was just joking. That's good enough for now, I think. It's good enough for a test run.
Yep.
So I'm just going to jump around you.
AJ Tech TV says they have Velcro tweezers in the back of that case. And
Yes.
thoughts on the radiator support in the top of that case? Well, we just put in the 240 radiator, no problems.
Yep, easy. It's like one of those designs where... Hang on, I feel like I've done this wrong. It goes that way, doesn't it? It's one of those designs where it's sort of exposed. I think there's a panel to cover it. Let me just line this up. I think I'm doing a terrible job of this, Tim. There we go.
In.
So that went on. As you just saw, I didn't have to press that down. There's a good amount of cable management space in the back of this case. So you don't get a bulging door. No one likes to see a bulging door. There we go. Moving on, before Tim jumps in with any comments.
What? There's nothing to talk about your bulging door.
Here's the top of the case, everybody. For those that were asking. The IOs in there.
So you can see we've got our radiator there, and there's a gap there for more radiator space. I can't point at the screen, that's stupid. Up in there, there's more radiator space, so you can probably fit at least a 360 in there.
This is what I was looking for. So the case comes with, I should have looked at what this was first. So we've got some dust filters and things. So this can go in the top. And there you go. I'll now have to get another workout. Oh, arms day.
Nice. Few patterns on there.
Some
tough gaming patterns. And yeah, the carrying strap's very nice.
Yeah, it's a much easier way to carry it than what I just did.
Yeah, so this case was, for people who are asking, the Asus Tough Gaming GT501.
Yep, which is what I said.
Yep.
Sort of. All right. Well, I don't think we put the door on just yet because I don't know if I've got the power, and I want to tidy that up. Oh, that's popped through. Not meant to be there.
Is this the filter for the bottom?
And these cables can be tidied up a little bit, and then we've gone a bit skew-whiff here.
Steve, this should surely be the bottom
Filter. Probably. We don't have anything in the bottom, so just put that aside for the moment. Okay, I'm relatively happy with that, and we won't peel the plastic off that yet. So. Where's that monitor?
Monitor's right under there. Let's pull it up. Let's do some testing.
That's just on camera there. You can get that and start setting it up. I'm going to put this box over here. I'm going to put the stickers and the certificate over here.
It's a bit wobbly. Must have put on something.
Is it wobbling?
I think I just. Oh, it's a screw.
I may need those
Power.
two. There should be a power cord right there.
Got our pre-connected power cables.
I'll put the GN coaster away.
So just a warning not to trip over these cables.
We need HDMI or DisplayPort.
DisplayPort.
DisplayPort, safer bet.
Yep.
Alright, we didn't get a keyboard and mouse, but we don't really need one, I suppose. We just want to see if it turns on, don't we? Graphics card.
Oh, you almost plugged into the motherboard.
Tim, you saw nothing. You saw nothing, Tim. Alright, we got power on the monitor.
Yep.
Let's see if the power button works. Did I plug it in right? Oh, hang on, you probably have to flick this. Is it turned on, Tim? Did I get it?
Nope, has not turned on.
Alright, I didn't plug that in right.
Didn't plug in the power button right?
I thought Oh, no, I did. No, I did. Yeah, it must have been some sort of delay.
Mario B super chat says 5600X, 32 gig RAM, 6800 XT, and I play original Warcraft 3 in 1080p. How often people buy overkill stuff because they like having fast components?
Well, they're possibly not just playing Warcraft.
Possibly.
That's Warcraft. The original Warcraft. Well, yeah, you're playing a game that's like 20. How old is that now? What was the year that was released? I want to say like 20 years old. If you're playing a 20-year-old game, I don't think you can really mock people who have modern hardware.
2002. Yeah, 20 years.
Nailed it. What a great guess. Pat on the back.
It's worked. Nice.
Stream's over, people. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to donate. All right, that's great. Well, we'll just kill that. And
awesome.
Yeah, we'll put it aside and we'll have a quick chat with chat. And then what time is it?
8:20.
I don't know. We'll stand around for another half hour or so.
Yeah, easy.
I'll have a drink.
Plenty of questions.
Well, yeah, I'll put the glass panel on.
Yeah, we'll finish it up.
I'd leave it running, but the fans are a little bit loud. I've got to probably set the silent profile on the BIOS. Put the power cord down there. We'll throw this thing aside.
Yeah, so like we said, if you've just sort of joined the stream late, our PC now does work. So as a reminder, you can get raffle tickets if you're in Australia to win this PC. The proceeds of the raffle will go straight to the Child's Play charity. All the components here have been donated by the companies involved, so it's not like you're, sort of donating to pay back the cost of the PC. Everything will go straight to Child's Play, which is fantastic. If you're outside of Australia, you can also donate. Links are in the description below for either the raffle tickets or just donating to Child's Play. There's a landing page where you can do either of those things. And they're a great charity that supports various hospitals around the world in the US, Australia, Europe, and all sorts of areas. Primarily focused around giving entertainment to children who are in hospital, struggling, suffering with various different things. So yeah, Child's Play provides PC gaming, console gaming, all sorts of entertainment for people in those situations. So I think it's a really good cause to get behind. And not only will the raffle tickets and donations go straight to Child's Play, but Hardware Unboxed, ASUS, and Corsair. ASUS and Corsair provide all the components for this. Together, we're also donating $5,000 US to Child's Play. So, yeah, hopefully we'll be delivering quite a decent donation all up between that money, between the raffle tickets and the donations, which I know lots of people have been getting in with, buying multiple tickets and just donating, even if you're not in Australia. So we appreciate everyone that so far has done something like that or has just joined in to enjoy the stream and is, supporting Child's Play just by learning about it.
Yes. Should I peel the plastic off or leave that on?
Probably leave it for shipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it does, just ignore the glass isn't going to look as clear as it would otherwise. But
do we get all the RGB working?
Yep. The front lights and all that were working.
Cool. I was only paying attention to it posting.
Well, there's nothing installed on it, so it's okay to just randomly fire it up. But
did you want to run through the components that we've been using, or do you want me to do it again?
I just want to see. I've pushed the button. Is it fired up yet?
Not yet. Is this in all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time it was weird. I pushed the button and then there's a little bit of a time delay. Interesting. I'll look into that.
So it's nice. We've got the RGB at the front and at the top.
So you got the AIO, the memory. I went the wrong way. Memory, and then we've got the fans in the front
And at the top.
and at the top.
So you got ones with the multi-LEDs at the top. Just looks to be the single LED versions at the front.
Yes, it's quite nice. It'll look like I'll peel this back a little bit because we've kind of got to give the people a. Am I middle? So you can see how much nicer that looks. I'll take it off. I'll cover it up. I'll protect it when we ship it. It's glass though, so that's very durable. So there we go. That looks better.
Next to the person that wins this PC on the raffle will be asking for a refund because of the glass was scratched.
No, it will not be, Tim. It will not be. Don't cause trouble, Tim. If I laid it down that screw, it might be.
Yep, I've got another screw here as well. So, the components.
Do you remember? Or do you want me to rattle it off?
You rattle it off.
We have the ASUS Tough Gaming Plus Wi-Fi B550 motherboard, and installed in that is the Ryzen 5 5600X. We have the Corsair Vengeance RGB memory, 3200 CL16, 16 gigabytes of it. We have the Tough all-in-one liquid cooler. It's the 240 millimeter AIO version. What else do we have? We have a Corsair MP600 Core 1 terabyte SSD. We have a Radeon RX 6600 dual graphics card from ASUS. And then we have the Tough Gaming 501, is it a GT? GT 501 case.
And the 750 watt power supply from
Tough
ASUS.
Gaming.
Tough Gaming as well.
Tough Gaming 750B.
So it's a tough gaming build, basically. Lots of tough gaming components, a few Corsair things thrown in there as well.
Yep.
Big thanks to ASUS and Corsair for providing the components for this and the build in general, all for a great cause. And lots of money being donated towards Child's Play, which is perfect and fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
And it works.
And
First try. How about that?
It works. After the stream, Tim and I are going to do some gaming, but I'll probably put this in the desk station on a monitor. I'll buy a copy of Windows 11. We'll install that on there. Put the Radeon drivers, chipset drivers, all that stuff on there. Probably put a game on there and do some stress testing and make sure it is rock solid before we ship it off. So the person that gets it can just fire it up, install their games or their whatever.
Yeah,
get gaming.
custom personalized Windows install by the wonderful Steve over here. So
it's very different to what you get from other. It's so custom. I can't even divulge what is custom about it. It's secret stuff.
Yep.
So it's actually, I won't even say the name. I was gonna say it's not one of those cheap CD key sellers.
Can't put our names against those, can we?
No. So yeah, do you want me to put this aside, or is it?
That's fine. I think.
Is it not too loud?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too loud.
I'll move it just.
I think people want to see the final PC that we've built after all for the.
I haven't tuned the fans. That's all. Actually, I'm gonna unplug this cord because I'll trip over it. I've got a 5 meter one here. So this one I can run all the way out here.
Will the build be signed?
I don't know if you want my signature on it.
Does your signature increase or decrease the value of the PC?
I would have thought decrease, yeah. What about you? Do you know how to hold a pen?
I did it in school. I got my pen license.
I did it in school like 2 decades ago.
Yeah.
More. I vaguely remember how to hold a pen. It's kind of like a paintbrush, isn't it? I've held paintbrushes recently.
So. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get a paintbrush and I'll sign up with a paintbrush.
Are they the same as a pencil, or are they different?
I think pencils and pens are relatively interchangeable, but I don't recall. We'll Google it afterwards. We'll get all the information we need. But yeah, I don't do pens very often, let's say. So yeah.
Even the Christmas, you just print off Christmas cards.
That is my wife's department.
Oh, so, all the people who've gotten Christmas cards from Steve, it's now revealed that it wasn't you at all.
Yeah. You know, you're assuming I have friends, Tim.
That's fair.
So what do we? I guess if you guys want to ask anything in chat, do that because. We'll go for at least another half an hour, and we'll constantly remind people who may be joining that you can donate. The links are in the video description. So.
Yeah, and even if you're watching this as a replay, you've maybe skipped forward to see the final build and the questions being answered and stuff, you'll be able to either sign up to the raffle or you can just donate to Child's Play literally at any time. So if you come in years down the track, they'll still be around, you can donate. But for the raffle, that will end on, I believe it was June 17th. So there's still several weeks after this to sign up to the raffle, buy your raffle tickets, and support Child's Play. So yeah, it's not just during the stream, it's up until then. So if you're watching the stream replay, good opportunity to do it anyway. Chaotic says, question, I currently have a B450 Tomahawk. It won't support 32 gigabytes at 3600. What boards should I get to support 64 gigabytes at 3600 for editing?
What CPU do you have? I wonder if it's the motherboard or if it's the... First of all, my suggestion would be make sure you're using the latest BIOS, especially if there's a BIOS that says improved memory compatibility, because often those do pop up. But I would say it's probably the integrated memory controller on the CPU you're using. If it's an earlier generation Ryzen CPU, that's possibly the problem. So if you maybe... cheaper and easier to upgrade your CPU if you've got an older one and you wanted a bit more CPU performance. Maybe get the latest BIOS and you can put a Zen 3 CPU in there, no worries, which you probably could have done with the BIOS you've got anyway. But firstly, I would check the BIOS to see if you've got the latest, because perhaps that'll improve memory compatibility, and then, consider the CPU. But yeah.
Interesting question I saw here was, I feel kind of bad asking this, but will you guys ever investigate what monitor brands and what models have worse quality control than other brands? Those sorts of things, and it's not just monitors, it's any PC component, tend to be quite difficult investigations to do because you don't want to just base it off one model. Like, you don't want to get one model and be like, oh, that's fine or that's bad. And often as well, it can be hard to gauge how many people are affected because often what you see on forums or Reddit or social media is all the people that buy it and had a bad experience will comment, but you don't get all the people that had a good experience commenting. So you kind of have to sort between, how many negative comments there are. Is that representative of, the whole spectrum of people that bought that particular product? So it can be a bit of a challenge. And that's why we tend not to really talk too much about things like quality control and warranties and those sorts of things, because even some of those things can depend on the region that you're in if it comes to warranty.
I think for individual models, look, if we come across a brand that has, it's quite evident there's a quality control issue model after model after model, then we'll start to probably warn people of the issues with that brand. But when it's like, one version of the 200 models they have or something has an issue, then, like we had problems with Asus. I know they sponsored this stream, but, there was an Asus Radeon graphics card that had a problem. It was a Radeon one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. 5700 XT?
57, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah, 5700 XT. And yeah, we brought that to attention. It wasn't the smoothest process, but the next generation of graphics cards was great. So they solved that problem. But for these companies that have just mind-boggling large product lines, there's bound to be a lemon from time to time. It's not excusable or anything like that, but it can happen. But it doesn't mean all of the stuff they make is of that quality. It just means they dropped the ball on that one.
Hazzy Devil Super Chat says, you have two identical PCs. One is exhausting hotter air out the back than the other. Which one is better at cooling? So if we...
Is that like a riddle?
So if they are 100% identical, this isn't possible. So first of all, we would have to assume that there is some difference somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'm assuming that the CPUs are binned exactly the same. One isn't consuming more power.
If one has faster fans, the air coming out would be cooler because you're moving more volume of air through it.
Yes.
So if one has slower fans, you'll be feeling less air coming out, but the air will be warmer, as an example.
That is an example, but also it could be a case where if you think that PCs are identical, but one's actually consuming more power for whatever reason, then venting out hotter air could mean that the cooling is actually sort of the same. It's just that there's more energy in the system.
There's variables. Like if they're both using 500 watts, but the air coming out of one is hotter than the other, it could mean that computer is actually cooling the components more efficiently.
Yes, because it's extracting more heat into the air, which is then venting out.
So the components themselves will be running cooler, despite the fact that the air coming out is hotter.
Yeah, you want super hot air coming out of your system.
Well, in that scenario, that would be preferable to a bit. Yeah.
I mean, ideally, your system would be running at 0 degrees, or it's very cool and nothing, no power is being consumed. But yes, lots of hot air coming out means that things are going well generally.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right, we've got a few more super chats. Chaotic says, Ryzen 7 3700X, thinking of upgrading to a Ryzen 7 5800X. I believe, was that related to a previous super chat? Yeah, that was about the B450 Tomahawk.
So sorry, what was the follow-up?
So the memory question was about not being able to support 32 gigabytes at 3600 mega transfer speeds on B450 Tomahawk.
Yep.
And you asked what the CPU was. We've just heard back it's the Ryzen 7 3700X.
Oh, okay, that's surprising. I've not...
Yep.
3600 with 4 sticks. I think it's 4 sticks probably with 32, or probably doesn't matter. Yeah, surprising, but I would expect the 5800X to work without a problem on that board. So yeah, if you're thinking of upgrading the 5800X, I mean, I can't guarantee it'll work either way, but that's probably what I would do before changing the motherboard. That would be a better upgrade. Let's say if you had to put the money in one direction. The CPU would be a more significant upgrade all around than a new motherboard with slightly faster memory. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
James has produced a super chat for us. Thank you, James. Best value GPU and monitor for 1440p 144Hz esports. So what do you reckon on the GPU first?
Well, because we're AMD shills. No, because AMD Radeon GPUs are significantly cheaper than GeForce GPUs right now. At least they were last time I checked in the US and Australia. That would instantly, in terms of value, put you towards a Radeon GPU. So, for sort of esports games, so you'd be playing with competitive quality settings, you really like a 6700 XT is pretty quick there for 1440p, somewhere around that region of performance. I mean, you can go to 68, that's of course going to be better, or a 6600 XT, which will save you money but not be quite as good. But yeah, I'd probably be looking around the 6600 XT to 6700 XT range for value at 1440p. And then as for the monitor, I'll hand that one over to Tim.
Yeah, so the monitor, I mean, with 1440p for esports, you're kind of stuck in this position where most people most companies making esports monitors will target 1080p because that's kind of the competitive gaming resolution of today.
Yeah, it really is.
And if they're not targeting 1080p, then you're probably looking at like 1440p 240 hertz. So, there are some good 1080p monitors. If you did want to get one that would give you really clear backlight strobing, so you have perfect motion clarity basically. But if you're looking more 1440p, I think most of today's fast IPS monitors will do exactly what you're looking for. Even some of the cheaper ones, I looked at the HP X27Q like a couple of months ago. That was only like $260 on Amazon, which is very cheap. Mm-hmm. This person's given us Australian dollars though, so that it's much more expensive here. Probably not a great choice. But then, things like Gigabyte M27Q, Dell S2721 DGF all give great motion clarity with IPS at 144 hertz. Some of them, you could go up to like the MSI MAG274 QRF-QD, which gives you better backlight strobing, but it depends on how much money you want to spend. So those are sort of some of the options that I would go with. Got any more super chats here? Yeah, Carrick says, just kept boot looping my PC. Scared the crap out of me until I realized it was the RAM. Yeah.
Yep. Nah, don't
It's
stress.
very standard. But
You can't go too wrong.
your board still works, so that's good.
No, it'll be fine. Someone said they've had 3600 memory on the B450 Tomahawk. I know I've definitely done it. Oh, they're doing it the 5600X. It can be sometimes that certain 3600 kits will work with others not working. Also, it is 32 gig, but that person said theirs 32 gig worked. But it can be a difference within kits. Memory compatibility can be improved to support a wider range of kits because it might apply the wrong timings for a certain kit. But I think with a Zen 3 CPU, you would find it would work, no worries. Because it was Zen 2 did improve memory compatibility, but I would have thought the 3700X would work, but
I guess it would also depend if you're talking 4 sticks of 8 gig versus
it shouldn't
16 sticks.
it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. They still should be dual rank. They're not guaranteed, to be fair. So,
Someone's saying we missed their super chat.
Oh, that's not good. Tim,
I'll have to try to figure out where I can actually see them.
can you scroll back all the way up and try and work your way through it? You've got to be able to do it, Tim. Come on. Just scroll up.
Oh, must be somewhere.
Tim had one job on this stream. I get this computer running,
Usually
no worries.
you can see them all the super chats somewhere, but I'm struggling
What
to
do those 3 dots on the top right do next to...
participants? I wonder if I can just...
doesn't look like it.
No.
Well, Tim works on that. I don't know what I'll do. But I'm very happy this is running. Can't wait to install Windows on it. Hope it all works nicely. 5600X should run very cool with a 240 millimeter AIO on it. And I can feel a good amount of airflow coming out the top here. So the front, we got the 3 front fans intaking as you would normally have. And they were exhausting the CPU's hot air, the heat generated by the CPU at the top of the case. We have a rear, what looks to be a 140 millimeter fan. Yes, it is, in the back. That's pumping out a nice amount of air. So pretty good ventilation. I think this case, from memory, because I have used it once before, did result in good temperatures. There are, if you put your hand over the front, you can feel those little holes sucking in loads of air. So,
I found the super chats.
good job.
Dill Valentine says, can you guys tell us the best practice for static during build?
Oh,
My friend thinks you should leave the PSU plugged into the wall. I mean, we just built it without any static protection. Now, I'm not saying that that's proper practice for building PCs. Ideally, you should have some sort of static protection.
If you were selling the computer to someone, sure. Having said that...
Luckily, we're just giving this away.
Well, we've never had I've never had a problem before. Like, I've never really had I've never had a test system fail. I've had a motherboard die from like 10,000 GPU changes. But I think basically it comes down to really how you handle the components. Modern components are very durable. Things like picking up the motherboard, you'll notice I grab sort of the I/O section, like the heat sinks there. You don't want to wrench on them, but there's ways you can pick up those PCBs without touching connectors and pins and things like that. Same with the graphics card.
We've seen Linus made a video about trying to kill components with static electricity.
Well,
I found it quite difficult.
Look, I don't want to say that you don't do any damage to the components with static electricity. First of all, we're not really on carpeted floor. We're in a garage with epoxy flooring. But even so, I don't want to say that's not a thing because I believe the effects of static electricity damage don't manifest straight away. So it's sort of like a bone fracture, let's say, that will continue to develop. And
I'm not sure how it works. I should know. I've done electrical engineering, so I should know these things.
He's got a master's degree in electrical engineering. Here I am telling. Anyway,
I just trust, what's that guy, the channel? Electro Boom.
Well,
Watch him.
again, not an expert
It's
on
all
it, but my understanding of it is that the effects may not be instant. It doesn't go bang and it's not usable. You can damage the components, which will shorten their lifespan or weaken them, cause stability issues and things like that. But also, I maintain if you handle the components well enough, like
And we're not wearing socks on carpet, so that helps.
for example, a graphics card, the back of this card's exposed, so I would not touch any of that.
So you would not do this.
Wouldn't do that. No.
No.
God, we're idiots. I wouldn't touch the gold connectors as well. If you see reviewers, if you see a reviewer doing that and they're talking about they're handling a review sample, you know, it's a bit different. I guess you could argue that reviewers should show correct handling of components at all times, but it's a bit of a grey area. I don't know. But for this card, I would always hold the plastic. It's very easy to
Is
always...
that a 6500 XT?
This... I think this is a 5600, 560.
Reasonable then.
So, but as an example, I would always be holding that. I always do my best whenever picking up a graphics card is to only hold the plastic. And that way, you're not having any problems there. And the fact that I don't have an anti-static bracelet on is okay. So I would always recommend holding it on the plastic if you can. And then here we go. Here's a really expensive heavy motherboard. So this motherboard's actually really easy to handle because it has a back plate, so you can just hold that, and then I would hold, actually I'm not sure how well I'm showing that, but I would always hold it like that, so you're not touching any sort of electrical contact points. And generally when I put them in, you can also hold them, this is a really heavy board.
I usually grab them by there as well.
But that's a good spot to grab them. And then if you can, you know, if there's places on the edge where you can hold it, that's good as well. But again, like this board's a really bad example because the whole back of the board, I can basically hold this anyway and I'm not touching any contact points.
Yep.
But you'd want to avoid having your hand under there as much as possible.
Yep.
So anyway.
All right, Pineapple Pizza. This was the person who was talking about the ASRock B350 Pro 4 hasn't been updated for the Zen 3 BIOS. They came back with a second super chat saying, looking back at my motherboard, I really think it was neglected because it hasn't even received the Ryzen 3000 XT BIOS yet, but the M-ATX got it in 2020. So
which board was this? The B450? The
ASRock
ASRock board.
ASRock B350 Pro 4. Let me just give it a quick Google.
Yeah, have a look. I honestly don't know about the ASRock board. I think I used that board briefly in 2017.
BIOS.
But I know MSI's updated all their B3, all their 300 series boards at this point.
So the last update was in 2020, October.
Wow.
Of 2020.
Okay.
So it's quite.
It's got the really old Agisa code.
It looks pretty neglected.
Does look pretty
I would
neglected.
agree. They did a lot of updates up till 2020, and they're just like, eh. So they're only up to Agisa 1.0.0.6.
Yeah, AMD has made it clear that it's on the board partners. They've provided them with the Agisa microcode. It's up to the motherboard manufacturers as to whether or not they want to use that Agisa code. So ASRock may be doing it on select boards. They might not be doing it at all. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at their boards yet. But I know ASUS has rolled it out for, I believe, all of their 300 series boards. I'm pretty sure Gigabyte has, and I'm certain MSI has. But yeah, it's not a good look for ASRock if that's the case. Hopefully, I suppose if you guys apply pressure, there's a lot of ASRock owners that hassle them. They may do it. Really, they should, because their competitors, I believe, have. I've tested the B350 Tomahawk and the B350 Strix Gaming, I think, F board from ASUS. And you'll see a video tomorrow night showing the 5800X 3D on those boards. Very, very impressive stuff. So make sure you check that video out. But yeah, I've got a collection of B350 and X370 motherboards that I've tested with the 5800X 3D and compared that to the latest and greatest like X570S boards. And yeah, spoiler alert, the results are very, very impressive. So yeah.
Next question. Well, super chat here. I'm on a 6700K with DDR3 RAM, and I'm thinking of jumping into AM5 head first. Money not really an issue. Thoughts, dive all in like a bin chicken. So
well, I would wait for reviews. That is pretty much the answer you're going to get from me.
Yes.
Possibly a safe bet. Again, I would like to see AMD commit to AM5 and say, you know, we're going to support this socket for the next 4 years or the next at least 3 generations, something along those lines. Otherwise, I'd be certainly waiting to see what Raptor Lake has to offer and if Intel makes any long-term commitments. I don't think they'd do that on LGA 1700 at this point. I think that'd probably be it's a missed opportunity at this point. They'd probably wait for the next socket. But yeah, if we get some long-term AM5 commitment, I think it's probably going to prove long-term to be the way to go, just like AM4 was, in my opinion, for the most part. For most people, that was the way to go.
Yeah, and I think it makes sense on this 6700K with DDR3 not to jump into the current platforms. So I'm talking, AM4, obviously, if you're going to be doing this big platform upgrade and we're just on the horizon of a new platform.
Yeah, I mean, it depends what you're playing. Like, generally, that CPU can still get through today's games okay. The more demanding ones, like your sort of Battlefield type titles.
Yeah, I think though, if you've waited this long,
sure, yeah, that's a good
waited
point.
this long,
yeah, you might as well.
I'm sure you can wait another,
few
couple of months.
Yeah, a couple of months. Yeah, that's a good point.
You'll at least see what AM5 is going to offer you, and then you can make the call as to whether it's worth it.
Yeah,
of course, you could wait. You could buy current gen. You could buy Intel. There's all sorts of different options.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
So
not long to go now. I'm excited. Despite AMD's announcements and mixed feelings about, claims here and there, I'm really excited to see what they have. And we'll no doubt have a very detailed review, probably multiple reviews for you coming out around the launch. So
yeah, and I think at the very least the multi-thread performance is looking very solid, especially since I'm not sure whether I should say they did the maths wrong or just accidentally did the maths wrong. But in their presentation they said the new 16-core Zen 4 part was 31% faster than the 12900K for their Blender render. It turns out they actually meant that it would be it took 31% less time, which means 46% faster. So that number, 46% versus 31% that they sort of showed, does sound more impressive. So in my initial video when I was talking about, the performance uplift being 31%, it's like, okay, I guess that's not too bad. We'd seen that Blender was quite a strong workload for Ryzen processors previously, so it's like, okay. But now that we know the exact time differences that were used for that particular benchmark, we know that the number was 31% less time as opposed to the correct number of 46% faster. I think that makes it look a bit more impressive. As for where the single thread performance lies, don't know what's going to happen here, but at the very least, it's sounding like the performance is going to be reasonable. So we'll see. I certainly don't think it's just a straight write-off at this point. I think there's still a lot of stuff to get excited about with those parts.
Definitely.
Having fun outside?
Loads of fun, Tim. Loads of fun. You know me. Fun wherever I go. Have I missed anything?
Not really. I was just talking about some of the AMD miscalculating this stuff with the presentation for Zen 4 and... Do you guys have a launch date or is it NDA'd at the moment? No NDAs for that at the moment.
You're not going to leak that information, Tim?
Well, even if I knew, I would just lie and say I didn't know. But no, I genuinely, it's too early for that. If they're talking about a fall launch...
We know roughly.
Then, they're talking about September onwards.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. So... I don't know how many people are just tuning in, but it's probably a bit late to show what the stream is all about, but you can watch it from the start. But yeah, basically, we are doing we did a charity build, didn't we, Tim?
We did.
For Child's Play. So the links are in the video description if you've just turned up, because it's hard. Some people come in at all times during these streams. But yeah, we built this computer. If you're Australian, you can enter a raffle to win it. $5
this
US.
PC. This exact PC that we've just built will be sent to you. So the ones that...
Which does post.
So... I've just decreased its value by touching it a bit more.
Yeah,
so
look at that oil, get that off there. It's got some neat little handles here, which you can pick it up with. So really cool system. I like this case a lot, actually. I don't think it's terribly expensive. So don't know the exact price, but
there's a fair bit, at least for the person that does get the system, fair bit of expandability because obviously we haven't put any 2.5-inch SSDs, which would take up all this side of the case over here. 750 watt power supply is really overkill for a 5600X and a RX 6600. So there's plenty of CPU upgrades possible in there, and you can chuck a 5800X 3D in there as well.
Well, you could, in
the future,
if you can hunt one down and you're willing to drop that kind of money on it. But yes, quite an impressive CPU, but you probably for gaming don't need to upgrade this CPU anytime soon. I think the 5600X will be good for quite some time to come. If anything, maybe an extra 16 gigs of RAM would maybe be a way to go if you find that you need that for... There's a few maybe titles that would push it a bit higher. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator was a bit memory hungry last time we checked. But yeah, but otherwise it's rare and ready to go. And whoever I would imagine whoever wins it has a computer already, and they may want to move their secondary storage into this so they could do that. As you say, there's plenty of room to do it. What are you checking the case?
Just seeing the case.
Yeah, okay.
$170 US
Yeah,
case.
it's a little
Not
bit
bad.
Not bad. It's a little pricey, but considering you get a lot of RGB goodness with it, I think I'm just sold on the handles. The handles are great.
Yeah.
Really good. I mean,
Do people still do LAN parties?
Well,
Because
that's
if
what
they do,
I was about to say. That I'm like, I suppose for those who don't move their case pretty much ever,
let us know in the comments, when was the last time you did a LAN party with, you get your PCs in person, you set up like, 4, 5,
I reckon the
8
last one I
monitors.
did was you were there.
Yeah, this is before Hardware Unboxed.
Yeah, it would have been about 6 years or 7 years ago.
Yeah, back in the TechSpot days when we were both working there, and we realised that we both lived
In the same
reasonably
state.
close to each other,
Yeah.
despite it being a US website.
Yeah, you came out here with about 8 or 9 of my friends, and we played, I think, mostly Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 from memory. A few other things, maybe.
Yes, I believe it was it Advanced Warfare, whatever it was called back then.
Maybe in the original Advanced Warfare we played as well, but it was a Call of Duty.
It was
LAN.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Because anyone can jump into that and do all right.
So, a few people are joining, asking how to enter, how to win. Links in the description below will take you to the Child's Play landing page for this. If you're in Australia, you can enter the raffle to win. So it is an Australia only thing for legal logistic reasons. And if you're not in Australia and you just want to support the charity, that landing page also has a donate button for Child's Play where you can go and just donate money to them directly. So tickets, if you are in Australia, are $5 US each. Child's Play is a US charity, so couple of things to note. Firstly, if you are planning on entering the raffle, make sure you change your location to Australia. Some people had a few issues with that. Also, you may see a charge on your bank account when you do, buy the ticket from the US. That's because Child's Play is based in the US. And yeah, $5 US because it's a US charity. But on top of all that, Asus, Corsair, and Hardware Unboxed, we've donated $5,000 US to Child's Play as well. So lots of good donations heading their way. So a lot of people saying last LAN party in 2004, 2009, 20 years ago. Someone said 2012.
I miss them big time. They were so good, but it's kind of almost no point these days with high-speed internet. And latest super chat, Tim.
You read it out? You haven't read out too many of these
The
super
handles
chats.
are ugly, and I'm anti-social. You can relate to that somewhat.
Which part?
I haven't moved my PC since I built it before COVID, lol, only to deep clean it. Well, I just took a handle off for you, and there you go.
Looks good without the handles. I like the handles though. I'm a fan.
Yeah, so I'll try not to drop it.
James here in the super chat, I've just seen this, says last LAN party was MIDI maze on Atari ST over MIDI cables. Now that's before that could be before I was born.
I don't think you were alive.
I don't think I was alive.
That was pre-Tim's existence. You know why I was sort of thinking maybe I shouldn't take these handles out?
Yeah, Atari ST was released in 1985, so that's well before I was born.
Because I reckon getting these back in is a bit of a challenge. And I'm probably not going to want to do it right now.
All right, I'll read it while Steve is struggling with the handles that he removed.
I don't think I want to continue struggling though. I've had enough struggling today, Tim.
Kieran says, "G'day guys from Newcastle. Love your content. Watch your Ryzen video today. I've upgraded from a 2600, 3600, and now a 5600.
Jeez.
Still using a B350 motherboard. Love a good tax deduction." That's nice.
Well,
And
that's
use it
fair,
for-
I suppose, yeah.
Use it for work. See, you did it.
Oh, yeah, I did it. Go me.
Yep. You need all the love and support that you can get. So
I actually could do with some encouragement right now. It's
Yep.
getting late. I'm getting tired.
good job. Well, you need to get untired.
Yeah, I've got to
That's
play
the
some
right word,
games.
because you've got to crush noobs in Fortnite later.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes.
So for people who are Patreon and Float Plan members of Hardware Unboxed, Steve is going to be doing some Fortnite gaming in your first sort of test stream for the streaming PC,
yes.
gaming PC that you
Yes,
built on the
we're
channel a
going
couple of days
to
ago.
attempt to. We think we've got it configured and working. So it'll be a test stream, but we'll limit it to Patreon and Float Play members. That way I'll embarrass myself in a smaller, in front of a smaller group of people.
Yes.
It's controlled damage.
Yeah, but people have seen your Fortnite clips already, and you're good enough.
Well, hopefully I play all right tonight. Yeah, but that should be fun. And Tim will be in the background heckling and hassling and annoying and trolling.
I'll be like opening chip packets like every 5 seconds and
as,
rustling them.
As I'm about to shoot someone, my monitor will go black, and because Tim's controlling the streaming portion of the PC. So there'll be some shenanigans, no doubt, knowing Tim. Tim does love to troll. He seems innocent, but far from it.
Chaotic says, "Damn it, Tim, don't make me feel old. I was born in 1983. That is a bit before my time."
Yep, well...
It's more your era.
It's exactly my era.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Is it really? Nice.
So, what else have we got here?
Cool. So, yeah, if you want to enter the giveaway, as I keep seeing questions every so often, links are in the description. Follow everything. You'll learn what you need to know about getting the giveaway PC. Link below. The 3090 Ti might just barely scrape 60 FPS on Fortnite. Maybe.
Well, I use a 6900 XT. So there you go. Just because the 3900 is great in Fortnite, actually. DLSS is very nice at 4K, but I've had a few different problems with it. My dual monitors. I don't know if it's a problem with those MSI monitors, but sleep mode, they don't wake up from sleep half the time.
So is that your new streaming PC? Is it 6900 or was that the...
That's a 3090. That's a 3090. So I don't know if I'll have that problem with the monitors or not. But it's a less of an issue because I'm not using it daily. But yes, that will be a 3090 Ti actually. So yes, that will absolutely blast Fortnite. But I'll be playing at 1080p tonight. And hopefully 1440p in the future when I get my new monitors. Which I mentioned the monitors that I'll be using in the build video with Chris. Chris will be playing tonight with me, and I think Matt will also be joining us. Chris will definitely be there. Matt, I'm not sure, but he sounded keen.
Nice.
So those two boys will be there, so that'll be interesting. Matt's always good value. He heckles as much as Tim quietly.
And who's the best of Fortnite?
We don't need to go there.
You want to put that out there?
No.
I think you know.
I don't want to stir the boys up. You guys are absolute champs. Proud that you're Aussies. Oh, thank you. Very nice. That's another nice nick. What else have we got here?
A lot of people are talking about this LAN party stuff. I reckon
I miss LANing.
You know, we need to bring back the LAN party.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of effort, and because I'm rural, it's a lot more effort.
What would be awesome, even though this would be logistically a nightmare and no one would do it, have a LAN party at Computex with all the creators. Because
we did that one year. We did that.
That would have been before Hardware Unboxed.
Oh, yeah. This was back when I was maybe 20.
Yep. So a long time ago. We're talking...
And A-Bit hosted it.
58 years ago?
Yes, the motherboard manufacturer that hosted it is now deceased.
Yeah.
So...
But that would be fun. I reckon that would be a lot of fun.
It was awesome. It was really, really good. So
or if it's not Computex, like LTX, if they're planning on starting.
Honestly, that's it's quite shocking to me that no other like Corsair or Asus or someone hasn't done that, like a creator clash type thing.
Like the boxing one?
Not boxing,
because I can't box. I'll get destroyed like in 5 seconds. You wouldn't fare much better.
I'd fare a lot better than you.
No, you'd fare well against me, but against people in my weight division, I just get
No, nothing silly like that. I'm too old for that nonsense.
That's it. Okay.
LANing.
No, but even the boxing, right? If it's against other PC hardware creators, I reckon you're in with a shot against other PC hardware creators.
As long as they're nearly 40 years old.
Yeah, that's not... Age isn't relevant.
It is, trust me. I moved much better in my 20s. I used to play physical contact sport in my 20s. It would kill me. I wouldn't survive training now.
But anyway, LAN party with the creators I think would be awesome.
You can tell Tim's young. Anyone who's 40, you just laugh. I mean, I don't know if I'm particularly pathetic, but yeah, you feel different when you're almost 40 compared to when you're...
Sometimes I feel 40 on the inside. Does that count?
That's when I hit you. That's when we have a creator clash, a local argument. No, I don't hit Tim much. Probably shouldn't be saying
That's what
so.
those handles are for.
Yeah.
No, none of that.
None
of that on this channel.
We don't condone physical violence. Virtual, go ham, and that's what we are pushing for. Is virtual violence at Computex between tech guys in.
Anyone can come in.
Yep, any game, maybe a series of games. We could do like an RTS, FPS, third person. I don't know.
Racing would be
racing.
Cool,
You could do like a whole.
Because often at
all
Computex,
the genres.
there's like big racing sim setups.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Now,
Yep.
are we going to set this up? Let's be honest. Someone else would have to set this up.
I'll
but
palm this off to Linus. I'll DM him. Hey, Linus, I got an idea. Actually, you could do that at LTX as well. That'd probably be a better place to do it, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Chaotic says, Tim, just about monitor names at your boxing opponent. They'll think you're insane and back off. If I'm quick enough.
Oh, gold. Absolute gold.
Tim versus Linus boxing match.
Linus is a beast.
Linus, he does seem very fit. I am taller than him, though.
Yeah, Linus is a beast. I
probably would lose.
I'm more in Luke's weight division.
Luke's taller than you, though.
Yeah, but I'm more in his division,
Yeah.
and I would not take Linus on. I'd be like, nah, man, it's all good. It's all good. Just drop some hardware over there and leave me alone.
My only hope...
I'll give him an expensive motherboard and run away.
My only hope against Linus would be that I'm younger and taller than him, but that's it. Like, I might have better reach, but apart from that, no.
No, don't even start this, Tim. You're going into waters.
I can't box anyone. I'm so unfit. It's just not happening, right?
Don't call out Linus. End the stream. I need you to review monitors next year.
Yeah.
I can't have Linus off.
I need my brain intact. I don't need any hits in the brain.
Any plans for any merch? I mean, we'd like to do more merch for sure, but it's been a battle to get someone who will follow through with what they promise and be reliable and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, we're still hunting for someone that we can trust to handle the merch well, because we've gone through 2 different companies now and both have been suboptimal, let's say.
Yeah, I think next time if we were doing merch, we would probably try and do more of the process ourselves in terms of shipping products to us here and that sort of thing. But at some point in the future, we'll do it again. But
yes.
We'll see.
Yeah, we need a bit of time, and we do have some extra hands on deck now. So we have a full-time video editor, and he does a few other roles. You'll probably meet him on the channel later this year, but perhaps he can help us. Or someone else. I saw. Did you see this one? There was someone said Tim versus a box of kittens. That's a fight you could win.
Or I don't know.
Yeah, well,
kittens go pretty mad.
I mean, you would be cuddling them lots and stuff.
How many kittens are we talking? Because if it's like 10, they can get scratchy and I love cats, but kittens, I'm beyond that point now.
Yes.
Good morning from America Land Harbour Boxed Crew from that Colin guy. Thank you. And we've got someone here, Pickle Rickle from Newcastle in Great Britain. I think we had someone from Newcastle, Australia earlier.
Okay.
So the original Newcastle. Toon Black and White Army. Is that an EPL thing? I don't know. Let us know. Can't stay long at work, but here's my bit. Thank you for your support. And obviously, if you do want to support Child's Play, the charity links are in the description below. You can either buy your raffle tickets if you're in Australia to buy not buy, but win this PC that we just built. Or if you're not in Australia, we have got a link to just donate.
Super chat here. Any more 5800X 3D tests coming, Steve? In particular, comparing with Zen 2, etc. Well, we got the 5800X 3D, as I said earlier, on B350 and X370 motherboards. So that's coming tomorrow night. That's a really cool video. As for testing against potentially first, second generation or third generation Ryzen, I don't know if there's... I'm not super interested in seeing the 5800X 3D lay waste to those earlier Zen models, because that's really all it would be doing. I think maybe testing I think an interesting test in my opinion would be getting something like a B350 Tomahawk, a very inexpensive first generation B350 motherboard, and comparing the Ryzen 5 1600 versus the 5600. I think that would be cool, because if you bought a Ryzen 5 1600, which is very similar to the 2600 in terms of performance, you bought either of those CPUs on a B350, B450 board, and then slot in a 5600, you're looking at, on average, when CPU limited with a high-end GPU, 80% more performance. And games like Rainbow Six Siege, Rainbow Six Siege, you're looking at 100% more performance. So that's crazy for a drop-in upgrade 5 years later.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So I think that personally would interest me more than seeing the 5800X 3D lay waste to those CPUs, but I don't know. Feel free to let me know what more of you think in the comment section
People
on that
like
one.
a good destruction. Tim, pre-review prediction, C2 identical to C1. So I assume this is talking about the LG OLED series.
Almost certainly.
I expect the C2 to be pretty similar. I guess the main question is whether the 42-inch model, which is the model I'm hoping to review, how different is that to the 48-inch C1 that I reviewed previously? I don't know, but I'm expecting most of the main areas of performance to be basically the same. Maybe it's like going to be a little bit brighter, I don't know, but basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
Kieran asks, reckon AMD is sandbagging? Reckon AMD will support AM5 for 4 years plus? And Newcastle in Australia.
I mean, we'll probably get into this. This question's been asked on the Q&A. We'll probably get into it a bit more in depth. I'm going to have a bit of a think about it tonight. But off the top of my head, I don't really think they're sandbagging, at least to any significant degree. But there's a lot of things that are yet to be seen.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, one of the key things, obviously, and I talked about this just before in the stream, was about getting that multi-thread performance number wrong versus the 12900K does make an impact to people's perceptions.
Definitely.
Being 46% versus 31% is pretty significant in terms of multi-thread.
So,
and that changes things. And that's not sandbagging.
So
that's just a mistake.
It reduced the render time by 31%.
Yes.
And that makes it 46% faster.
Yes.
Yes. So it's the way you word that.
Yeah, so it's the classic...
Both are correct, but both aren't the same thing, and both aren't correct if you're saying it's faster.
Yeah, so they said 31% faster, but they meant 31% less time to complete.
It completed the time... Yeah, it reduced render time by 31%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So...
Which is a much smaller... Sorry.
Which is a much smaller number.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's because of, the whole lower is better versus higher is better thing. Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's a Twitter thread I made about that where you can learn more about why they got the maths wrong on that. But anyway...
Which has been embarrassing.
Well, I don't know. It's a common mistake to make. There was a poll where most people got the answer, in my opinion, wrong. So I guess if a lot of people are getting it wrong, it's easy to make. But anyway, that's not the point. The point I was making is that knowing that what the number actually is and the 15% single thread thing, it's kind of like, well, if that came out and it was quite a bit faster for multi-threaded and reasonably faster for single thread, I think that's going to be pretty acceptable. So I'm not sure how much sandbagging can happen when the numbers actually sound reasonable-ish.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll talk more about
Q&A.
it. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
And AMD's AM5 support for 4 years plus. I think we will see extended support for 4 years, but who knows? They haven't said anything.
So how is reducing render time by 31% not 31% faster?
Do you want me to explain it?
Go for it.
Okay. So the easiest way to get your head around this is if you have, let's say you have one processor completing a task in 100 seconds and you have a second processor completing the task in 200 seconds. The time reduction going from 200 seconds to 100 seconds is a 50% reduction because we're seeing 100 seconds less time to complete and we're comparing that to 200 seconds. So you have a look and you're like, okay, it's 50% less time. But most people, when they see one product at 100 seconds, another at 200 seconds, would say the product doing something in 100 seconds is twice as fast, which means 100% faster. And that's because you're comparing it the other way around.
That's how percentages work.
Which is how percentages work. You're converting each of the times to rates. Because to say something is faster, you have to look at it as a rate, and a rate is the inverse of the time. So you do 1 over the time, compare the two, you figure out that it's 100% faster. So that's the main reason why the two are different. For one metric, we're comparing time, where lower is better. So we talk about 31% less time. The other way, we're talking about the rate at which something is completed, which is higher is better. We can use the term faster, and that's the difference.
Yep. So when we're doing application benchmarking and we're comparing results where higher is better and lower is better, you always compare the faster result because then those results can be compared with one another.
Yeah, so you want to make sure that you're changing all of your lower is better numbers into rates, which then can be compared using
You can get an average across
metrics.
all the applications.
Yeah, exactly. If you're say doing a chart of all percentages, you don't want to have some of the percentages mean in less time and some of the percentages mean faster, because that's going to be very confusing, and you'll start to see things where 90% less time is like 8 times, 9 times faster. And if that's not represented properly on the graph, it will start to skew the numbers depending on which benchmarks are done. So those sorts of things are important to get right. But like we've just seen from these comments, when the numbers aren't as easy as 100 seconds and 200 seconds, it's pretty easy to get confused about what's going on because there's no logical sort of, you don't immediately latch onto it and say, oh, that's 2 times faster. That's easy to work
No,
with.
it's a very, 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 very easy mistake to make. But I would have thought AMD would be all over that.
Yes, I sent them an email about it. Haven't heard too much about that since then.
Did you?
I said, do you have a comment about getting these numbers wrong? And they're like, oh, well, we'll see.
You lost your email. Go away, Tim. You're a pain in the butt.
Sorry, you said we got something wrong. I'm afraid we filtered that straight into the bin.
It's like the YouTube junk folder.
Yeah,
it just goes nowhere.
But yeah, like I said, the calculations are easy, but getting your head around where you need to apply the calculations can be a bit of a challenge. So, yeah, I'm happy that AMD has supported AIM4 for so long from one of our super chats. Yeah, I agree. I think it's been good, as you've mentioned.
Yeah, it's really good.
Crossover with the Mighty Car Mods guys. Now, if we could do something with them, that would be great. But they're based in Sydney, so it's a bit more difficult. It's hard. We're flat out trying to get Jared down from where he lives.
We will be getting Jared down though, but Jared's just quietly wanting to delay things a little bit because he's heard what's coming out at the end of the year. So he's holding out for something better now, but that's okay. Jared will definitely be coming down. That's Jared from Jared's Tech. I'll be building a computer. Similar. We'll basically be doing this. I would say we'll do it live.
Yeah.
Get Tim here as well. And
sure.
Should be a lot of fun.
Catching up with Jared. Cool dude.
Always fun.
Very knowledgeable about laptops, and he's taller than all of us. So
yeah, we'll have to work out the framing of that.
Yeah.
But we'll make something work. We'll make him kneel. Well, I reckon we are pretty much at the end of this stream, everybody. So, yeah, we'll wrap it up here. Thanks to everyone who's tuned in and watched it. Hopefully you enjoyed the build. Hopefully you enjoyed Tim and I chatting with you guys and answering questions as we saw them. And big thanks to Asus and Corsair for also getting involved with this. And, of course, Child's Play for doing everything they do. And, yeah, for those of you who are watching this back or haven't donated yet, the link's in the video description. The top link will take you to the page where you can, Australian viewers can enter to win this exact PC. And then anyone else who would just like to donate because you're good people, well, or you're able to make a donation, no pressure to everybody, then yeah, there's a donate button there as well, so you can do that. It's all in US dollars, I believe.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty much everything.
I think that's it.
So yeah, it was good fun. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. It was awesome. Maybe we can do stuff like this more often.
Sounds good.
Should definitely do live streams more often.
Yeah, I like doing live streams. It's a lot of fun.
And I think the later night one was good because other people got to tune in and so
cool.
All right, thanks everyone. Good night for fellow Australians and anyone else in a similar time zone. And I'm gonna go play some games.
Let's do it now. Let's test your streaming PC.
Yeah, let's go test it out.
All right.
See you guys.
Thanks everyone.